Chapter 1041. In 1 second she remembered, Love Divided by You? Read book web no pop-up window, free to read. Liang Wu-ming was resting in his room when he felt Sima Yue enter his courtyard. Come in. Liang Wu-ming waved his hand and the door opened. Sima Yue walked in and saw Liang Wu-ming sitting on the main seat with a few hall masters sitting below. Valley Lord Hall Masters. Sima Yue bowed to Liang Wu-ming and the other hall masters. Although she had the title of Junior Valley Master, and her status wasn't low, she still respected those elders from a psychological point of view. Those hall masters saw that Sima Yue was so humble and didn't put on the airs of a young genius, so they gave her quite a few points in their hearts. Yue, we are talking about your matters. Sit down and listen. Liang Wu-ming said. Talking about my matters? Sima Yue sat down on the seat that Liang Wu-ming pointed out to her, and looked at everyone curiously. Do you know that when you were breaking through, all the disciples in the valley were watching? Liang Wu-ming said. All watching. Sima Yue looked at him strangely. What did he mean by all watching? You know that all the disciples in the valley participated in that bet, so we used some methods to send the video of you breaking through. Everyone was watching in the plaza. Liang Wu-ming said. Then what? Sima Yue asked. Then Elder Xiao and Elder Tang quarreled, and wanted you to join their branch. Liang Wu-ming said. Sima Yue's eyes widened. There was such a thing? Liang Wu-ming looked at her expression and said, That's not all. There's more? Sima Yue was even more surprised. Because you were stone gambling in Cloud Sea City. They knew that you were a seeker spirit master. Liang Wu-ming said. So Elder Du also hoped that you could join him. Sima Yue looked at Du Yanghui. He smiled and nodded at her. There's more. There's more? Sima Yue turned to look at Liang Wu-ming. Everyone knows that you are a beast tamer, so? Are you willing to join the beast tamer hall? Yu Shibwa smiled and asked. Also, we know that you are a pharmacist from the academy, so? Sima Yue felt a headache coming on as she pursed her lips and asked. Is there anything else? The Poison Master Hall also wishes to invite you over. I heard that you are quite good at using poison. Liang Wu-ming said. Yes, young Valley Master. Are you willing to come to my Poison Master Hall? Doubai looked at her with a smile. Sima Yue hesitated. How did they know about her identity? It's a headache, isn't it? Liang Wu-ming said. Right now, other than the Weapon Refining Hall, all the other hall masters have the intention to invite you over. Sima Yue rubbed her forehead. This really gave her a headache. She had just arrived in the valley, and it would not be good to offend anyone. That I should listen to my master. Since my master is not here, I don't think I need to choose which hall to join, right? She looked at Ying Bai Chuan. Why didn't this guy tell her that she would encounter such a situation? Ying Bai Chuan looked at her calmly, and did not say anything else. Sima Yue blinked her eyes, not understanding what he meant. You really don't plan to join any of them? Liang Wu-ming asked again. Sima Yue looked around and nodded with certainty, saying, Let's wait for Master to come back before we talk about this. How is it? I told you that she wouldn't choose any of them, right? Liang Wu-ming looked around and smiled. Looks like we can only implement our agreement. Elder Xiao said. What agreement? Sima Yue was confused. We were just saying that you definitely wouldn't choose any of the halls. Ying Bai Chuan said. Then why are you asking me? We just want to see if you are willing to join. Liang Wu-ming said. Now we are very sure of your thoughts. So now everyone is happy, Liang Wu-ming said. As the Junior Valley Master of the Mystic Valley, you don't need to join any of the halls, but you can learn from any of them. Really? Sima Yue felt that this change was a little too fast. Yes, Liang Wu-ming said. Since you just arrived in the valley, although Bai Chuan told you about the situation in the valley, you shouldn't be very familiar with it. So in the coming days, you should familiarize yourself with the valley and follow Bai Chuan to follow the assessment. Once you are familiar with the situation, you can follow the other halls to learn from them. Really? Of course, Liang Wu-ming said. Your master isn't in the valley, your senior isn't here either. So as your elders, we naturally have to make arrangements for you. Thank you, senior uncle. Sima Yue looked at Liang Wuming gratefully. So, Junior Valley Master, after the assessment, you have to come to the Alchemy Hall more often. Your master used to stay in the Alchemy Hall often. Elder Xiao said. I will. Sima Yue smiled and nodded. You have to come to the Array Hall often too. Your talent in arrays is unparalleled. I believe you will become the most powerful array master here. Xie Ziming said. Thank you for the Hall Master's praise. Sima Yue nodded. I will continue to work hard. Don't forget to come to our place. Doubai said. You will find out that our place is better than the academy. I am already looking forward to it. Sima Yue said. Old Man Devil and Wu Lingyu both said that the Divine Devil Valley was a suitable place for her to learn. If it wasn't because she was in the outer regions and coincidentally encountered the recruitment of the Heavenly Sect, she would have come here to learn. Bai Chuan, you will take care of her for the next few days. Liang Wuming said. Yes, Master. I will bring junior brother to familiarize himself with this place as soon as possible. Bai Chuan replied. There are still a few days before the assessment. Go back and get your disciples to practice. Liang Wuming said. Alright, you can go and do your own things. Junior Valley Master, don't forget to come to our place. Xiao Jingzhong turned around to confirm with Sima Yue before he left. I will. Sima Yue smiled at him before he turned around and left. After they left, only Liang Wuming and Bai Chuan were left in the house. Sima Yue let out a long sigh of relief. Senior brother you should have told me this earlier. Sima Yue turned around and looked at Bai Chuan speechlessly. Master and the others didn't allow me to say. Bai Chuan shrugged helplessly. Let's go, I will bring you to visit the Divine Devil Valley. Sima Yue looked at Liang Wuming and saw that he didn't say anything. She followed Bai Chuan out and found Little Seven to visit the famous Divine Devil Valley. Chapter 1042. Read 336. The Divine Devil Valley was huge, much bigger than what she had imagined. It would take at least a few days to walk one round. Bai Chuan brought her to each of the halls. When they heard that they were going to visit, those people were extremely excited. They ignored Bai Chuan's cold aura and gathered in groups of 3 to 5, wanting to catch a glimpse of Sima Yue. They were all professional masters. Although they were usually arrogant and lofty, in front of people with strength, they still sincerely admired them. Towards a genius like Sima Yue, they were even more in awe. Sima Yue bumped into an acquaintance in the Pill Refinery Hall, which reminded her of her family in the Restless Continent. Yuni greets Junior Valley Master. Yuni bowed to Sima Yue. They had not seen each other for more than 10 years, but he was still the same. He had not changed at all. Yuni, you're here too. Sima Yue was happy to see him. She smiled and walked up to him. Yuni is a disciple of the Alchemy Hall Elder. Bai Chuan said. Yuni, have you been back to the Restless Continent all these years? Sima Yue asked. I went back once 2 years ago. Yuni said. Those people in your family are doing well. They have already settled down in the Restless Continent. You don't have to worry about them. That's good. Sima Yue relaxed. It wasn't that she hadn't thought of bringing her clansmen up, but their strength was limited. Perhaps they were a strong force below. But when they came up here, they could only be oppressed and weak. After much consideration, she decided to let them continue to live in the lower continents. If someone's strength increased and came to this continent, she would help them. I went to see them before I came up. Oh, they even asked about your situation. Yuni pointed to the pavilion in the courtyard. They chatted as they entered the pavilion. It's a good thing that news of you will come to the valley from time to time, or else I wouldn't know how to answer their questions. Thank you, Yuni. Sima Yue said gratefully. Junior Valley Master, you are too polite. This is what I should do. And I didn't do anything, I just told them some things about you. Yuni said with a smile. How are Yu Qing and the others? Sima Yue asked. They're all fine. They just miss you guys. Yuni said. Their strength has grown quite fast these past few years. I think it won't be long before someone comes up again. Really? Sima Yue was happy for them. If they could come up, their future would be better. They're all very talented, Uni said. I know. Sima Yue nodded. She had given them the tendon and marrow cleansing elixir before. Their innate talents had been altered, and they were naturally much more powerful than others. Let me know if you want to go back in the future. Sima Yue said. Is there anything you want me to do? Uni asked. Yes, if you want to go down again, help me bring some things down in a few words, Sima Yue said. Okay. As they still had to visit the other halls, Sima Yue and Uni didn't chat for long before they got up and left. After a day, Sima Yue and the other two only visited a few halls. As Ying Baichuan still had to deal with the assessment, they could only push the visiting matters to the back. Ying Baichuan had already helped Liang Wuming to deal with the matters in the valley. This wasn't the first time the assessment was held. With past experience, it wasn't difficult to deal with it now. It was just that there were some trivial matters that needed to be dealt with. Sima Yue followed Ying Baichuan and gave a few suggestions when he was dealing with matters. Those suggestions made Ying Baichuan and the supervisor of the assessment light up. After the supervisor left, Ying Baichuan looked at Sima Yue and smiled as he shook his head. I really should let Master know how capable you are in managing matters. You should be more in charge of the matters in the valley. I don't like to do those things, Sima Yue said. Senior brother Ying won't sell me out, right? Ying Baichuan stared at Sima Yue for a while and said, If I tell you, you'll probably run away. Sima Yue smiled. Senior brother knows me well. If Liang Wuming really let her manage the matters in the valley, she would probably really leave. She didn't like to deal with these matters. Although it made people feel that she had more power, she just didn't like it. If she had the energy, she would rather go back and manage her own sect. But you're the junior valley master. In the future, you and I will have to manage the matters in the valley together sooner or later, Ying Baichuan said. You won't throw this burden to me alone, right? Senior brother Ying, what's your keepsake? Sima Yue didn't answer but asked instead. Ying Baichuan showed her the white jade thumb ring on his hand. It looks the same as my thumb ring, but the color is different. Sima Yue looked at his thumb ring, then looked at her thumb ring and said, No, mine is different from yours. Ying Baichuan said, My thumb ring isn't as evil as yours. Evil? Sima Yue raised her left hand and stared at the blood thumb ring. The blood red color indeed made people feel that it was a little evil. How is this thing evil? I heard from Master that some of the people chosen by the blood thumb ring had gone mad. Ying Baichuan said, But looking at you, you don't look like you've gone mad. Gone mad? How did he go berserk? Sima Yue was a little shocked. She thought of the time when the blood thumb ring recognized her. She had hallucinations. A beauty and a skeleton. Those people always said that they would hallucinate. Sometimes they couldn't even differentiate between the hallucinations and reality, causing them to go mad. Ying Baichuan said. So evil. Little Seven exclaimed. You won't become like that, right? I don't feel it. Do you feel that I'm abnormal? Sima Yue asked. Little Seven thought about it seriously and said, Not yet. Junior brother's mental strength is strong. It's not that easy to control. Ying Baichuan said. If you think about it, the one who has the blood thumb ring is the real junior valley master of the divine devil valley. He will also be the future valley lord. The blood thumb ring has such a high status? Yes, it's said that the blood thumb ring is connected to a secret of the divine devil valley. But for many years, no one has really gotten the blood thumb ring's recognition, and no one has been able to control it. So for so many years, no one knows what the blood thumb ring's secret is. Ying Baichuan said. Maybe you can help us unravel this secret. Senior brother Ying, when you say it like that, it makes me feel pressured. Sima Yue said embarrassedly. She looked at the blood thumb ring in her hand, and felt that the blood red color seemed to have come alive. It emitted a faint aura as if it wanted to swallow her. This book came from Pin and Book #web. Chapter 1043. Her words made Zhang Hao speechless. She still needed Little Black to guard this place. How could she leave the square? But if she wanted to cook, wouldn't she have to do it here? You guys better think of a way quickly, Sima Yue said. These 2 days are very short, I won't be able to do anything by then. Wu Man raised her eyebrows. She didn't sound worried, which meant that there was a chance. However, she looked at Zhang Hao and the others and fanned herself without saying anything. Some people just needed to be cheated more. Luo Qi and the others didn't have any objections to this. They just frowned and didn't say anything. Alright, she can't leave this place now, so why do you care about her? Let's continue to think of other ways. Meng Sha said. Humph. Zhang Hao snorted discontentedly. You're just giving in to her. He's just a child. She's the only one who can deal with this thing now. If we don't accommodate her, don't tell me that we'll provoke her and she'll wash her hands of us again? Meng Sha retorted. Alright, quickly think of a way. Luo Qi said unhappily. This Zhang Hao was really regressing the more he lived. He actually had this kind of unclear situation. What else can we do? We can only go back and flip through the ancient books in the city to see if we can find a way to seal it. Zhang Hao said. That's the only way. However, there are so many ancient books. We need more people. Wu Man said. Siyu was eating at the side and seeing Wu Man so worried that the smile on her face disappeared, she asked. Ant-Man, the four of you are experts among experts. How can you not seal this thing? I can't. Wu Man directly spoke the truth. She didn't feel that it was shameful. Even you guys can't do it? Not only Siyu, but the other members of the C family were also surprised. Because the forbidden area was related to the safety of the city, not many people knew about it. If it wasn't for this incident, many people probably wouldn't have known that such a dangerous thing was hidden inside. As the head of the family, Sikong naturally knew about this. However, he had never told Siyu and the others about it. Hence, when he saw that Wu Man and the others couldn't do anything about it, he was shocked. That's right. Otherwise, how could something like this happen? Wu Man thought that in the end, she might still need Sima Yu's help. She casually set up a barrier and wrapped it around the square, blocking the vision and divine senses of the people outside. It was easy to isolate people's vision with a barrier, but it was difficult to isolate people's divine sense. Sima Yue watched as Wu Man casually waved her hand and set up such a barrier. It seemed that the four stewards were quite capable. Thinking about it, how could an ordinary person become the manager of this big ghost city? However, Wu Man's actions gave her a bad premonition. You should have heard some rumors about this thing. This is a power. Because it has existed for so long, it has already gained sentience. Wu Man explained. Once this thing comes out, Ghost City will cease to exist, so we have been sealing it here. Since it was sealed in the past, why don't we seal it again now? You're all so powerful, why can't you seal this thing? Siyu said. We can't seal it. Wu Man said. This thing is different from others. It needs a special method to seal it. Other seals are useless. It won't take long for it to break through again. And only the City Lord knows how to do that. How do you know it's useless? Previously, there was a time when the City Lord did not come back in time to repair the seal, and that thing almost came out. The four of us worked together to set up a seal, and we barely managed to trap it for a day or two. Luckily, the City Lord came back in time, so it was not as dangerous as this time. Wu Man said. So the City Lord is not in the city now. Sima Yue said. Humph. Zhang Hao snorted again. His meaning was obvious. If the City Lord was here, would it be your turn to strut around here? Sima Yue was not angry. No matter how high you raised your chin now, didn't you still have to look at her face? I see. The City Lord is not here, so you can't do anything about it. Since that's the case, why are you so unhappy with my little sister? Your face is so dark. You don't want my little sister to help, right? Siyu said sarcastically. What nonsense are you talking about? Sikong, is this how you teach your daughter? Zhang Hao was mocked and shouted angrily. What's wrong with my daughter? I think she's pretty good. Her words are what I think. No wonder they say that a daughter is a father's intimate little jacket. Sikong sighed. Sima Yue looked at the C family. Their reactions were very calm. It seemed like they often saw this scene. That meant that the C family's old man had always been like this? All right. Look at the situation now. Why are you still quarreling? Wu Man didn't know if she was scolding Zhang Hao or Si Kong. Sima Yue felt that it was highly possible that she was scolding the former. Didn't you say that you wanted to find a way? Luo Qi said. Let's go find someone to help us. We shouldn't let too many people know about this. Meng Sha said. Since you know about it, then come help. I'm not going. Sima Yue said. I'm afraid that if I know too much, I'll be silenced. I'll wait for you here with Little Black. Find a way quickly and come back quickly to solve this. I still have my own things to do. Father, don't we have things to settle at home too? Since there's nothing else here, let's go back first. Si family's eldest brother said. It's time to go back. Wu Man, if there's anything, let me know. If we can help, we'll do our best. Si Kong finished speaking and took out a tissue to wipe his mouth. He called his children and left. Father, I'll stay behind to accompany little sister. Siyu said. Don't cause trouble. Si Kong knew that Siyu would be fine with Wu Man here. After reminding her, he looked at Wu Man. Wu Man waved her hand, and the spirit barrier disappeared instantly. This speed made Sima Yue envious. After Si Kong left with the Si family's brothers, the other onlookers also left. Those who were unwilling to leave were chased away by the patrol team. Wu Man and the others left after reminding Siyu and Siyu. Now that time was tight, they didn't dare to delay. With Sima Yue here, they had to quickly flip through the ancient books to see if they could find a way. Because they didn't have enough manpower, they had no choice but to transfer the previous guards over. This was because other than the city lord and the 4 stewards, these guards were the ones who knew the most about the things in the forbidden area. They hoped that they could find a good solution in these 2 days. This book came from Chapter 1044. Master, I won't be able to refine weapons in the future, right? A female disciple woke up and cried out involuntarily when she saw her crippled left hand. And don't be afraid. We can't explain it clearly now. Don't worry, the valley will heal you. Someone comforted her. Master, my hand. An's cry woke up the unconscious disciple beside her. After he woke up, he also cried out. My thumb. How could this be? The continuous screams caused the entire courtyard to become chaotic. Everyone was scared silly by their own situation. Alright, Elder Xiao, you guys go and treat them first. Let them calm down quickly. I'll go take a look at the poison ones. Doubai had a headache from all the shouting. Sima Yue followed Xiao Jingzhong to check on those injured people. They had already given them healing pills, but because their injuries were too serious, they still looked very serious. The disciples of the medical hall were bandaging their wounds. When they saw Xiao Jingzhong coming over, they retreated to the side. How are they doing? Several elders of the refining hall rushed over. When they saw their disciples injured like this, they were so angry that they jumped up. Who did this? Elder, they are from the Cloud Cave. Yes, it was the Cloud Cave that attacked us. The ones who attacked us were not from the Cloud Cave. They were from other sections. The ones who attacked you were not from the Cloud Cave? Which sect is he from? The people who attacked us were from the Kong Valley. Kong Valley? Are you sure? Sima Yue asked. I'm sure that the person who killed us was wearing Kong Valley's clothes. That person thought for a moment and said with certainty. Wearing Kong Valley's clothes doesn't mean you're from Kong Valley. Sima Yue said. I believe that the people from Kong Valley won't do anything to us. Why? Junior Valley Master, are you so sure? I know Kong Sengyi and have interacted with Kong Valley before. They won't do anything to Divine Devil Valley. Sima Yue said confidently. Wearing Kong Valley's clothes doesn't mean you're from Kong Valley. Xiao Jingzhong said. Take care of your bodies first. We will investigate the other things clearly. As the situation was too serious, Xiao Jingzhong stayed while Sima Yue and Little Seven left. Yu, do you believe that the people from Kong Valley will attack Divine Devil Valley? Little Seven saw Sima Yue, who was deep in her thoughts. I believe it's not Kong Valley to do it. Sima Yue said. Xiangyi knows that I am the young Valley Master of the Divine Devil Valley, and knows about our relationship. They will not attack the Divine Devil Valley suddenly. What if they were coerced? 7 to little yoyuet to yuyu. Cloud yunt tuyuet t. Tudo cloud to if Kong Valley's people are controlled by them, then it's possible. You're right. Sima Yue said. Wasn't Xiangyi in Heartbreak Valley? Let's ask Feng. Or if there's any situation. Sima Yue returned to the courtyard and took out a mother-son stone. She inserted her spirit energy into it and waited for a response. It was different from the usual mother-son stone. This mother-son stone was only the size of an egg. It was round and transparent and could be contacted from a long distance. Sister, what's wrong? Why did you suddenly contact me? Shimin Feng's voice came from the mother-son stone. Feng, is Xiangyi still in Heartbreak Valley? Sima Yue asked directly. No, she went back 2 days ago. She said something happened in Kong Valley. Shimin Feng said. Why, what happened? There's something I need to tell you. Sima Yue told him about the attack on Divine Devil Valley's disciples. Kong Valley's people won't be involved in this. Shimin Feng said confidently after listening. I thought so too. Sima Yue said. But you said Xiangyi said that something happened in Kong Valley. How's the situation over there? Shimin Feng asked. Things are a little messy. It will be the day of the assessment in a few days. The disciples outside will be coming back one after another. Now that senior brother Ing has sent the disciples outside the valley to receive them, I hope nothing will happen. Sima Yu said. Help me check what's going on with Kong Valley. Okay. Yu, it seems like someone was sent back. Little Seven said. Sima Yu looked in the direction that Little Seven was pointing at, and saw a few injured people being sent back. Feng, I'll go take a look first. Contact me if you have any news. Okay. Let's go take a look over there. Sima Yue kept the mother-son stone and rushed towards that direction with Little Seven. As expected, those people were disciples who were on their way back. They were killed on their way back. Luckily, they met the disciples who went to rescue them, so the situation wasn't too serious. Sima Yue left after seeing the situation over there. She couldn't be of much help over there. They said that the people who attacked them were from another sect. Little Seven said. I heard it. Sima Yue said. Things have become complicated. If those people weren't impersonators, then there's really someone who's targeting Divine Devil Valley. But who is it? Little Seven imitated Sima Yue and used her right hand to support her chin, looking like she was deep in thought. Sima Yue regained her senses and was amused by her look. She laughed out loud and used her hand to ruffle her hair, saying, We don't know much about these things. There's no use thinking about it here. Let's see how senior uncle and the rest deal with it. There were more incidents of disciples being attacked in the next 2 days. Luckily, the valley had already sent people out to receive them. The situation wasn't too serious. But the original assessment time was postponed indefinitely. According to Liang Wuming, the situation wasn't stable now. They would wait until everything was stable before the assessment. Everyone in the valley was busy dealing with the incident of the disciples being attacked. Sima Yue also understood quite a bit of the situation. But the more she knew, the more she felt that this matter was fishy. Just like that, all the hall masters in the valley had a meeting. She sat quietly at the side. After hearing the news from the hall master who was in charge of information, she frowned slightly. But she didn't say anything and just listened quietly. Liang Wuming noticed her expression and asked when no one spoke. Yue, do you have any thoughts? Sima Yue didn't expect him to call her. She thought for a while and said what she thought. Valley Lord, I feel that something isn't right. Oh, what do you think is wrong? Liang Wuming asked. Chapter 1045. Read 336. Sima Yue sorted out her thoughts and said, I've been in the valley for the past 2 days. Although we're not on good terms with Cloud Cave and some other forces, this has never happened before. Liang Wuming nodded. Indeed. If that's the case, why would so many forces attack us all of a sudden? Sima Yue said. And we didn't hear anything before this, it doesn't make sense. It's indeed a bit sudden. Doubai said. But it could also be their doing in the dark. If they wanted to send so many people to the Divine Devil Valley, we wouldn't have missed it. Bai Chuan said, unless. Unless what? Unless someone from Divine Devil Valley communicates with him. Sima Yue said, only in this way can he catch us off guard. You're saying that there's a mole in our valley? Xiao Jingzhong shouted. Don't let me know who it is or I'll definitely. Old Xiao, don't be so agitated. We haven't confirmed anything yet, Tang Yi said. This matter indeed needs to be investigated. Liang Wuming said. If someone really betrayed us, we must investigate thoroughly. Also, try to heal the injured disciples as much as possible. For those who haven't returned yet, tell them not to return for the time being. Yes, Valley Lord. Also, do you have anything else to say? Yes. After the meeting, Sima Yue was asked to stay. Yue, the valley has been rather busy recently. I have a mission for you. Liang Wuming said. What? Sima Yue blinked. You were the one who brought up the matter with the mole, so I want you to investigate this. Liang Wuming said. You want me to go? Sima Yue pointed at herself. There are so many people in the valley, but I don't know many of them. Isn't it like looking for a needle in a haystack? Yes. Liang Wuming nodded. If that was the case, why did he ask her to investigate? Don't be surprised. I asked you to investigate because I want to confuse others. The person who will truly investigate will be someone else. Liang Wuming said. Valley Lord, do you have anyone in mind? Sima Yue asked. To be honest, no. Liang Wuming said. But to be able to do this, his position in the valley must not be low. So if you ask me to investigate on the surface, that person will think that I'm not harmful to them and let his guard down. Sima Yue said. That's a good idea. But what? Liang Wuming raised his eyebrows. I have a better idea, Sima Yue said. What method? Liang Wuming asked. The oldest but most effective way. Sima Yue said. Keep an eye on everyone in the valley. Monitor everyone? There were so many people in the Divine Devil Valley. It wasn't easy to monitor everyone. Furthermore, it would alert the enemy. Liang Wuming said. How many people know about the scarlet bees that Master brought back? Sima Yue asked. Scarlet bees? I don't think many people know about it. Liang Wuming said. Your master treasured it a lot when he came back. Although everyone knows that he has scarlet bees, not many people have seen them. Are you thinking of using scarlet bees to monitor those people? Yes. Sima Yue said. Scarlet bees are very good at finding out information. That's fine too. Liang Wuming said. If you find out anything, let me know. I will. If you need anything, let Bai Chuan help you. I got it. Sima Yue left the meeting room and Little Seven came in from the other side of the courtyard. You're done with the meeting? Little Seven ran over and asked. Let's go. I need your help with something. You need my help? Little Seven was interested. What is it? You'll know later. Sima Yue brought Little Seven to a mountain peak. Just as she thought, Little Seven had a high sensitivity towards plants. You want me to help you sense these plants? Little Seven asked. Not only that, I want you to help me cover the bees. Sima Yue said. The scent of the plants and the bees correspond. So even those who are strong won't be able to find out easily. Oh. Little Seven nodded. No problem, just leave this to me. Then I'll release the bees. Sima Yue released tens of thousands of scarlet bees, and let them fly to every corner of the Divine Devil Valley. Many scarlet bees hid under the leaves, with the scent of the plants as cover. It was hard to find them if one didn't look carefully. This was the first time she sent out so many scarlet bees to find out information. And it was in such a crowded place. If it wasn't for Little Seven's cover, they would have been found out easily by those strong people. After everything was set up, the two of them returned to the courtyard. The following days were just waiting. The injured were waiting for their condition to improve. The Divine Devil Valley was waiting for news, and Sima Yue was waiting for the traders to take action. But no one was injured, and no one contacted the outside world. It was as if this matter had suddenly stopped. But she didn't think that this matter would end just like that. That night, Sima Yue was reading a book under the light when she suddenly received the news from the Scarlet Queen Bee. Little 7 then jumped down from the bed. Yu, there's movement. Little 7 said. After waiting for so long, there's finally movement. Sima Yue kept the book. Let's contact senior uncle and senior brother first. Then we'll go and see the traitor's true face. Alright. In the dark night, a black figure quickly passed through the valley and arrived at the peak of a mountain. There, someone was waiting for him. 17th Elder, you've made me wait for a long time. A feminine voice rang in the night, giving people goosebumps. Why are you here? 17th Elder's face darkened. The valley is already suspecting that someone has betrayed the Divine Devil Valley and is investigating. If you come to find me now, it'll be easy for me to be exposed. I know, but you haven't given us any news, so I have no choice. That person said. I don't have anything to tell you recently. Now that they're on guard, it won't be easy to do anything. 17th Elder said. Is that so? But we've received another piece of news, saying that you've already brought all the disciples back. Such an important piece of news. Why didn't you tell us? What? 17th Elder was shocked. Impossible. I'm in charge of contacting those disciples. I didn't even give the order for them to come back. How could? You really don't know. I really don't know. If not, why would I dare to hide it from you? Your family members are in our hands. I don't think you dare to not listen to Master. In that case, there's only one reason. What's the reason? 17th Elder saw him staring at him, and a bad premonition arose in his heart. This book came from the Book and Book #net. Chapter 1046. PFFF. The 17th Elder lowered his head in disbelief and looked at the arm that had pierced through his chest. Why? As he spoke, his blood energy surged, and a trace of blood flowed out from his mouth. The fact that they went around you and took back their disciple can only mean that you've already been exposed. That person withdrew his hand and took back his heart. Poochie. Blood spurted out from the large hole in his chest, splashing onto the ground. The 17th Elder knelt down on one knee. He opened his mouth, but no words came out. His body fell to the ground, and he stopped breathing. It's useless for your family to keep such useless things. That person took out a handkerchief and wiped the blood off his hand. Then he condensed a flame and burned the handkerchief. He faintly sighed and disappeared. When Sima Yue and the rest arrived, there was only 17th Elder's corpse left. With just a glance, they were certain that the 17th Elder was no longer breathing. We're late, Ing Baichuan said unwillingly. Yue, have you heard any news about the scarlet bees? Liang Wuming asked. Sima Yue shook her head. They didn't say anything useful. Let me check and tell you what they said. She came to the side of the 17th Elder's corpse and felt that his body was still warm. She probed his body with her divine sense. What is she doing? Xiao Jingzhong asked. Check 17th's memories. Liang Wuming said. You can do that? Isn't the 17th Elder dead? It should be possible. Ing Baichuan said. But I don't know if we can find any useful information. Everyone looked at Sima Yue. When she was done, they would know the result from her expression. You didn't find anything useful, did you? Xiao Jingzhong asked. Yes. Sima Yue nodded. The other party was very careful and didn't leave behind any information. 17th Elder doesn't even know who he is. What did you learn from his memories? Liang Wuming asked. They found the 17th Elder 3 months ago. They captured 17th Elder's family and threatened him to hand over the information to a man in black. Other than the black-clothed man who had killed him, he had never seen anyone else's face. I don't even know what kind of power they are. Sima Yue shared the memory she saw. 17 is someone who values his family very much. They have grasped his weakness, Tang Yi said. Other than the man in black, 17th Elder has no other useful information. Sima Yue said. Now that the other party has killed him, his family will definitely not be able to survive. Ing Baichuan said somewhat sadly. Baichuan, bury 17's body properly. Yes, master, Ing Baichuan replied. Yue, continue to let the scarlet bees monitor every movement in the valley. If there's anything strange, Report to me immediately, Liang Wuming instructed. Valley Lord, do you think there are still people in the valley who betrayed us? Xiao Jingzhong asked. The other party wouldn't know that 17 was exposed for no reason. This means that they have gotten information from other people. Liang Wuming said. Everyone disperse. The others went back. Sima Yue helped Ing Baichuan bury 17th elder. Seeing that Ing Baichuan's expression wasn't very good, she knew that he was feeling terrible. Senior brother Ing, don't be too sad. 17th elder has always taken good care of me. I didn't expect. Ing Baichuan's voice was a little hoarse. His eyes were red. He was angry and sad. From 17th elder's memories, we can see that he was still loyal to the divine Devil Valley. Sima Yue patted Ing Baichuan's shoulder. His mistake was that after knowing that his family had been captured, he shouldn't have chosen to remain silent. He should have told the Valley Lord about it, and let everyone think of a solution. Now that he's dead, his family can't be saved either. No matter who it is, I will definitely catch them. Ing Baichuan clenched his fist. After they buried 17th elder's body, Sima Yue clapped her hands and said, Let's go and see senior uncle. There were too many people just now. I didn't tell him some things. Do you have any other useful information? No, I just have some doubts that I want to tell senior uncle. Sima Yue said, Let's go. The news of 17th elder betraying the divine Devil Valley spread quickly in the valley. When everyone knew about it, they were all deeply moved. Everyone liked this elder, but they didn't expect the truth to be like this. When Sima Yue and Ing Baichuan came to Liang Wuming's room, they saw him in a daze. Sima Yue recalled what Ing Baichuan said just now. 17th elder was practically groomed by Liang Wuming. Their relationship wasn't shallow. Now that something like this happened, he couldn't help but feel sad. Liang Wuming saw them coming in. He kept his emotions and asked, Why are you here? There were too many people just now. There were some things that I didn't tell senior uncle. Sima Yue said. I found something unusual in 17th elder's memories. I don't know if it's considered useful information. What did you find? In 17th elder's memories, the man who came into contact with him looked a little like those people we saw in Cloud Sea City. Sima Yue said. Liang Wuming and Ing Baichuan were shocked. Are you sure? Sima Yue nodded. The figure doesn't look like it, but the aura is very similar to those people. It seems like they're from the same organization. If that's really the case, then the inner regions are playing tricks, Ing Baichuan said. I don't know what's going on with the inner regions these few years. They've been interfering with the inner regions matters and stirring up so much chaos. What are they trying to do? There should be some big turmoil in the inner regions, so they want to stretch their hands into the inner regions. Liang Wuming said, but they can't interfere with the inner regions matters for no reason, so they want to stir up trouble to give them a reason to take action. The inner regions have been in turmoil these few years. There are indeed some powerhouses who are contacting the inner regions, Ing Baichuan said. If it's the inner regions who are playing tricks, then those people from Cloud Cave and Kong Valley might not be their people. There are too few clues now, so these are only our guesses, Sima Yue said. But something happened at Kong Valley's side. I heard that they were poisoned by a poison that only our valley has. If we believe that this was done by Kong Valley, and Kong Valley's people think that they were poisoned by us, then the two factions will most likely fight, Ing Baichuan said worriedly. Kong Valley's side is fine, Sima Yue said. I've already gotten people to settle the matters there. Perhaps they will send someone to contact us soon. Oh. You've already settled it? Yes. Sima Yue said. If they send someone over, I hope that senior uncle won't make things difficult for them. Chapter 1047. You're still in contact with people from the Kong Valley? Liang Wuming asked in astonishment. Yes. Sima Yue said. That day, there were people from the Kong Valley among those disciples who attacked them. So I sent people to investigate in secret. In the end, we found out that there was also a situation on their side, so we got someone to mediate. Can that person succeed in mediating? Ing Baichuan asked worriedly. If this problem was not handled properly, the two forces might become enemies, and it would be difficult to resolve it in the future. Don't worry. His position in the Kong Valley is not low, Sima Yue said. So you don't have to worry about the Kong Valley. Thank you, Yue. Uncle Master, you're too kind. You've been so busy recently and I haven't done anything for the valley. It's my duty to do something now. Sima Yue smiled. If the inner regions are involved, then this matter won't be so easy to investigate. Ing Baichuan said. So, they hadn't been able to find out anything about the incident in Ocean of Cloud City at that time, and they would probably be unable to find anything even if they continued like this. I don't think our top priority right now is to find out who did it. Since it's related to the forces in the inner regions, it'll be much harder to find out. Sima Yue said. What we need to do now is to resolve the current crisis and not let their plan succeed. You're right. We do need to shift our focus, Liang Wuming said. We need to discuss this matter carefully. Sima Yue didn't participate much in the subsequent events. Although she was still letting the Scarlet Bees monitor everything in the Divine Devil Valley, the other party seemed to have discovered their intentions, so they didn't make any moves until another steward of the Divine Devil Valley was killed. This time, they didn't get any useful information, but they could confirm that there was someone in the Divine Devil Valley who was in contact with the other party. After that, the matter was completely silent. She didn't need to be involved in finding out the truth behind the framing and resolving the grudges that shouldn't have existed with other forces. Hence, she was free again. When she had nothing to do, she would go and check on the injured and see how they were recovering. You're recovering well, Sima Yue said with a smile after checking Yuni's body. Yuni moved her hand and smiled when she felt the strength in her hand. Thank you. If you didn't use the silver needle technique to connect my meridians, I think I would be a cripple now. He looked at her gratefully. I can only say that I'm glad to be able to help you. Sima Yue said. But that's all I can do. I can't do anything for the others. I can only watch them. You've healed all the people with broken tendons. Everyone is very grateful to you. Yuni's voice sounded a little sad. Those people's arms and legs were broken. You can't regenerate them. It's not your fault. Don't blame yourself. Yes. Sima Yue nodded. She could not do anything about those people. By the way, the assessment has been put on the agenda again. You should prepare well. Another assessment? Yuni was a little surprised. He thought that after such a thing happened, the valley would not have another assessment. Yes, because we couldn't find anything from the investigation. The valley decided to return to normal life. Sima Yue said. But the date hasn't been set yet. We'll see how your recovery is going. I'm already fine. I think the others should be fine too. Yuni said. Since there's going to be an assessment, I can't be lazy anymore. I have to practice well for a period of time. That's true. But you can't be too tired. Remember to strike a balance between work and rest. I'll go back first. Sima Yue stood up and bid farewell. After leaving Yuni's courtyard, she took a few turns and found Little Seven. She asked her to go back with her. Little Seven liked the alchemy hall very much now. Because there were precious pills everywhere, she could get some delicious radishes from time to time. Alright, those precious medicinal herbs were about the same as radishes in her eyes. The people in the alchemy hall respected Sima Yue more, so they liked Little Seven more. This was based on their understanding of Sima Yue. If they knew her strength and identity, they would like her even more. What did you find this time? Sima Yue saw her smile so happily and knew that she was in a good mood. Hee, just some big radishes. Little Seven stuffed the medicinal herbs in her hands into Sima Yue's hands. I want to eat candies. Sima Yue kept the medicinal herbs and said, let's go. I'll refine candies for you when we get back. Candies were very simple. It was to refine the medicinal herbs into pills. There was no need to add anything else. Little Seven liked to eat these pills. When they returned to the courtyard, they felt that there was someone inside. There's someone inside. Little Seven said. Sima Yue felt that there was someone inside. She smiled and pushed the door open to enter. The moment she entered, she saw the person sitting in the courtyard. Senior brother. Why are you back? Have you settled the matters in the Sage Pavilion? She walked over and sat beside him. Little Seven ran outside to play. Before Sima Yue could sit down, Wu Lingyu pulled her into his embrace. He held her head and gave her a long kiss before letting go. I missed you. Wu Lingyu buried his head in her neck. I missed you too. Sima Yue hugged his shoulder. You haven't answered my question. Have you settled the matters in the Sage Pavilion? They sent another pavilion master over. Wu Lingyu said. Aren't you the Holy Sun? Shouldn't you be the pavilion master after Xiao Yun Xiao died? Sima Yue said in surprise. I rejected it. Wu Lingyu rubbed against her body. Why? If I become the pavilion master, then I will be very busy and won't have time to come back. Wu Lingyu said. If that's the case, then I won't be able to accompany you in the future. Sima Yue's eyes lit up. She held his face and said. You're saying that you can always accompany me in the future? I can for the next few years. Really? Wu Lingyu nodded. Seeing the joy in her eyes, he smiled. Sima Yue got a positive answer and kissed him on the cheek to express her excitement. Just as she wanted to go back, he held her head and kissed her lips, feeling her beauty. After a while, he let go of her. The two of them pulled at each other's lips. Can you really not go back for so long? What about the matters in the Sage Pavilion? The new pavilion master and I have a good relationship, so I don't have to hang around in front of him. Wu Lingyu said faintly. Sima Yue saw him like that and knew that it was not a normal relationship. He should be one of his people, or someone who was controlled by him. But no matter what, he said that he could accompany her. That was great. Chapter 1048. Read 336. By the way, does Marshal Uncle and the rest know about your return? Sima Yue raised her head and looked into his seductive eyes. I already went to see Marshal Uncle when you were chatting with Uni. Wu Lingyu said. If you knew that I was in the alchemy hall, why didn't you look for me? Sima Yue poked his face with her finger. Wu Lingyu grabbed her hand and said. If I see you talking to other men, I'll be unhappy. But if I don't let you interact with others, you'll be unhappy. Sima Yue pursed her lips and smiled. This guy was obviously saying that he didn't like her being with other people. I came back this time with some news, Wu Lingyu said. About what? The Inner Circle's plan, Wu Lingyu said. What's the news? Is it related to the attack on our disciples? I've already told Uncle Master some of the relevant information. Wu Lingyu looked at her curious eyes. You don't have to care about those things. It's tiring to know too much. Oh, alright. Sima Yue did not force him to tell her. Anyway, as long as he was here, she did not need to care about anything and could focus on her own things. You said that Master went to chase after Aunt Feng. Why didn't he come back after so many years? Could something have happened? She asked worriedly. It's fine. Wu Lingyu said. That old man's life jade is still fine. Nothing happened. But there's been no news for so long, I'm a little worried. Sima Yue said. Why don't you go find your Aunt Feng? As long as that old man finds her, he will give up. Forget it then. Sima Yue said. I don't know how to find Aunt Feng. Even if I find her, I can't tell anyone about her. I promised her. Then don't worry about it, Wu Lingyu said. Yes. Sima Yue nodded. But I'm really curious about Aunt Feng's identity. The people who took Little Two away in the dark forest were very powerful at first glance, but when they saw Aunt Feng's soul imprint, they acted so, well, they seemed to be very respectful. Her identity, if I'm not wrong, it should be higher than what these people know, Wu Lingyu said. You have an idea? No. But we can check, Wu Lingyu said. Sigh, I'll know when it's time. Sima Yue sighed. Fortunately, Little Spirit said that the planting of Heaven's scar is good. When this is planted, it can also heal Aunt Feng's injury. As for Xian Qiuhe's eyes, I also said that I would help him heal them. Wu Lingyu flicked her forehead and said, You're always thinking about those things. Why don't you think about me instead? I promise these things to others. Of course, I have to keep it in mind. Speaking of Little Two, Do you still remember why there was a robbery of the auspicious beast? Wu Lingyu asked. Yes. It said that an immortal land is about to appear, and the auspicious beast's blood can open the door to the immortal land. Sima Yue said. Didn't they say that the immortal land would open soon? I'm afraid it's already over now. No. Wu Lingyu said. Because of some reasons there was a problem with the immortal land, and the opening time was delayed. So we can make it in time? Sima Yue's eyes lit up. Wu Lingyu looked at her and knew that she was moved. He reached out and tapped her nose, saying, I knew you would want to go. Then do you know where the immortal land is? How long before it opens? Sima Yue asked with a smile. There are still a few months. It's enough for you to prepare, Wu Lingyu said. Ha, then we'll go and take a look after the assessment. Sima Yue was in a good mood. The immortal land was a better place than the little realm, because these places were usually left behind by the Almighty, and there were more opportunities. If she was lucky, it was not impossible for her strength to increase greatly. In the following days, Sima Yue was even more comfortable. She did not have to worry about the matters in the valley, and she had someone she liked to accompany her. They could chat, answer her questions, and guide her. There was also nothing urgent for her to do. She felt that she had gained weight in the past half a month. Yu, I think you've gained weight too. Little Seven giggled as she watched Sima Yue pinch the meat on her face. Sima Yue turned around and glared at her. Even if you know, don't say it out loud. Wu Lingyu sat under a tree at the side, holding a cup of tea in his hand. Seeing her glare, he smiled and shook his head. Yu, don't be angry. Even if you've grown fat, Brother Lingyu won't despise you. Little Seven covered her mouth and laughed. There's no point in despising me, Wu Lingyu replied. It's too late to despise me now. Sima Yue took out a spirit fruit and threw it at him. Wu Lingyu caught the spirit fruit. There was still water on it, and it was taken out after being washed. He took a bite and it was quite sweet. I've already discussed with Martial Uncle. After the assessment is over, we can arrange for people to go to the immortal land, Wu Lingyu said. Are there auspicious beasts in the valley? Sima Yue asked. Don't you have one? Wu Lingyu blinked. You have one too. Sima Yue glared at him. Other than the people in the valley, what other arrangements do you have? Wu Lingyu asked. Sima Yue sat beside him, thought for a while and said, Brother and the others are in the little realm and haven't come out yet. I just have to bring some people from the sect over. Oh, if senior brother and senior sister aren't with the sect, they can come with us. Then you can inform them after the assessment is over. Wu Lingyu said. I'll contact them earlier. This is such a rare opportunity, we can't miss it. Otherwise, we'll regret it for the rest of our lives. Sima Yue replied. 2 days later, the Divine Devil Valley's disciple assessment officially began. Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu followed the hallmasters to the rostrum. The disciples of the various halls were already waiting below. Yu, we always sit in the spectator's seat or the contestant's seat with you. I didn't expect that we would be able to sit on the rostrum this time. Little Seven sat beside Sima Yue and moved around on the chair. It's my first time sitting in this seat too. Sima Yue said. Be quiet, don't make any noise. Oh. Little Seven quietened down and stretched her neck to watch the competition below. The MC below went up and started to preside over the assessment in the valley. After explaining a bunch of rules, the first round of assessment finally started. It was Sima Yue's first time sitting here. Different seats had different angles. In the past, she watched how those people competed with a learning mentality. But this time, she watched with a judgmental attitude. She wanted to see if the disciples in the valley were all that outstanding. This book came from Pin and Book #web. Chapter 1049. Equals. The first day of the assessment was for the disciples of the Alchemy Hall. Yuni and the others were all inside. Although the tablet ebook was injured last time, it had completely recovered now. There was no obstacle in the process of refining pills. Yue, Xiao Jingzhong called out softly. Old Xiao, what's the matter? Sima Yue turned to look at him. Nothing, I just wanted to thank you. Xiao Jingzhong said. Look at Uni and the others. If it weren't for you, they wouldn't be able to refine pills now. That's right, she said. Yue, your silver needle technique can be said to have reached perfection. It's even better than many miraculous pills. Thank you for your compliment, Elder He. Sima Yue smiled. I've been busy before. I only remembered to ask you now, he said hesitantly. Elder He, is there something that you can't say? Sima Yue asked when she saw his hesitation. It's like this. We've never heard of your silver needle technique before. Can you teach it to the disciples in the valley? I know this idea is a little abrupt, but, Elder He, you're exaggerating. I'm now the Junior Valley Master of Divine Devil Valley. This silver needle technique can heal others. It's a good thing that I can contribute to the valley. Sima Yue said. For ordinary people, these skills would usually be kept a secret. Only when they were establishing a sect would they spread it out. He did not expect her to agree so quickly. Really? He was so happy that even his beard was smiling. Of course it's true. Sima Yue was amused by his expression. However, it's easy to get started with this silver needle technique, but hard to master. I can only leave some of the basic knowledge in the valley. If you need to master it, you still need to study it among the disciples. Of course. He nodded. Then I'll go back and sort out the knowledge of acupuncture points and silver needles, and send it to the pharmacist hall. Good, ha ha. The assessment continued. Alchemy, tool refining, array formation, and so on. Over the next few days, they spent their time in the assessment process. Just as Sima Yue and the rest were going through the assessment in the valley, the news of the Immortal Land opening had spread throughout the mainland. Various forces were eager to take action. The requirements for opening the fairyland, such as the blood of auspicious beasts, reminded the world of the robbery of Little Two in the dark forest. Only then did they realize that the news of the Immortal Land's appearance had already been known at that time. However, Little Two had been taken away. This matter was no longer a secret. Without the auspicious beast, where would they go to find the blood of the auspicious beast to open the gate to the fairyland? Therefore, during this period of time, the continent began to search for auspicious beasts again. Some factions with auspicious beasts were not in a hurry, but those independent people could not. They had to seek protection to protect their auspicious beasts. On this day, Sima Yue came to the courtyard from Guangqi, and took out the Mother Sunstone and Shimin Feng. Sister, what's wrong? Shimin Feng asked. Feng, or let me tell you something. Sima Yue took the spirit fruit that Wu Lingyu gave her, took a bite, and then said, Do you still remember those people robbing Little Two in the dark forest? I remember. Are you going to talk about the Immortal Land? Shimin Feng asked. You know about it too? Of course, now the whole continent is talking about the Immortal Land. No matter how hidden our Heartbreak Valley is, we should know about such a big thing. Shimin Feng said with a smile. Since you know, what do you think? Sima Yue asked. I do have an idea. You seem to be in a good mood. What do you think? Tell me about it. Sima Yue heard that his tone was more relaxed, with a hint of bad intentions. Zhongzheng clan also wants to enter the Immortal Land. Shimin Feng said. Zhongzheng clan? Sima Yue's eyes lit up, and the corner of her mouth slanted. Do they have auspicious beasts? No, Shimin Feng said. Then they still want to go in? Aren't they thinking of a way? Shimin Feng said. I see that they have been very active recently. They will definitely think of a way. Even if they can't find it, we have to let them find it. Brother Feng, you're having a bad idea. Little Seven said loudly to the Sun Mother Stone. Don't I want to help them? Shimin Feng said. You don't want to help them. I think you just want to get them in, and then kill them. Little Seven said with a smile. Shimin Feng laughed. What do you think? Sima Yue asked with a smile. Naturally, I want to help them find the blood of the auspicious beasts. Shimin Feng said. If you have an idea, go ahead and do it. If you need anything, just tell me. Sima Yue gave him full authority. Then do you know where the auspicious beasts are? He really said if he needed anything. She didn't know where the auspicious beasts were, so she could only look at Wu Lingyu. I just happen to know where the auspicious beasts are. Wu Lingyu shook the wine cup in his hand at Sima Yue. Oh. Sima Yue stared at his calm look and looked at the sky. What else do you not know? Wu Lingyu smiled and didn't say anything. A few days later, the Zhongzheng clan sent a piece of good news. Clan head. Found it. An elder ran to the meeting hall excitedly and shouted. The clan head of the Zhongzheng clan, Zhongzheng Qingren, stood up from his seat. Really? You found the whereabouts of the auspicious beasts? That elder was so excited that his face turned red. He nodded vigorously and said, Yes, clan head. The news this time is absolutely true. Where is it? It's in a valley in the southern wasteland. But what? Zhongzheng Qingren asked. This news has already reached the ears of many powers. Everyone is heading there now. The elder said, We have to act quickly. Otherwise, we will fall behind others. Since you found it, then bring people there. Let Song Mao go. You must bring the auspicious beasts back. Zhongzheng Qingren shouted. Yes, clan head. That elder turned and left hurriedly. Clan head, the auspicious beasts this time are related to the immortal land. The junior valley master is still young. It's better to let a few elders keep an eye on it. Another elder stood up. You're right. You go with the fifth elder and young master. Zhongzheng Qingren ordered. Yes, clan head. Half a day later, Zhongzheng Song Mao left the clan with a group of people and rushed to a valley in the southern wasteland. Half a day later, Sima Yue received news from Shimen Feng. Sister, there's news. This time it's Zhongzheng Song Mao and 2 other people. Sima Yue smiled brightly. Okay, then let's go according to plan, HP. Chapter 1050. Zhongzheng Song Mao brought the Zhongzheng clan to southern wilderness and went straight to Xisha mountain range in Luli County. Luli County is the biggest domain in the southern wasteland because there are several big clans and sects here. Their combined strength is the strongest. Huaiyang Palace was also located in Luli County. As the largest power in Luli County, it was located at the center of Luli County, not far from the Qin family. When Zhongzheng Song Mao brought them to Xisha mountain range, the people from Huaiyang Palace had already arrived. Young Master Zhongzheng, my young palace master invites you. A guard wearing Yinyang Palace's uniform came to the Zhongzheng family's camp and said arrogantly. The people of the Zhongzheng clan did not look too good. They did not expect the people of the Yinyang Palace to be here. Moreover, looking at these 2 people, it seemed that they were very dissatisfied with the fact that they had concealed the news of the auspicious beast. I didn't expect the young palace master to come as well. I even said that I would inform the palace master and the others after confirming the news of the auspicious beast. Although he was unhappy, Zhongzheng Song Mao still responded with a smile. I hope you really think so. A guard said, Young Master Zhongzheng, please. You guys set up camp here. Elders, follow me to meet the young palace master. Zhongzheng Song Mao said. Yes, young master. Zhongzheng Song Mao brought 2 elders and followed the guards to the place where Huaiyang Palace set up camp. Along the way, they saw the tents of many forces. So many forces actually came? 3rd elder Zhongzheng Hai frowned when he saw those tents. How did these forces arrive so quickly? 5th elder Zhongzheng Quan was also puzzled. At this time, it's related to the auspicious beast and the immortal land. Of course, those people would come quickly. Zhongzheng Song Mao said. From what I see, there might be more forces coming later. If that was the case, their chances of snatching the auspicious beast would be reduced. But no matter what, they had to obtain that auspicious beast. He felt that someone was staring at him, but when he looked over, he didn't see anyone looking at him. Sima Yue, Wu Lingyu, Shimen Feng, and Qin Emo stood at the top of the mountain. Just now, Zhongzheng Song Mao was looking in their direction. I didn't expect Zhongzheng Song Mao to be so sensitive, Sima Yue said. Zhongzheng Song Mao isn't a simple character. Qin Emo said. He can become the young master of the clan at this age. Naturally, he has some ability. Really? Sima Yue smiled faintly. If that's the case, it's even better. Breaking one of their arms is better than plucking a few feathers. In the past, this Zongjung Song Mao killed many of our family members. Shiman Feng said. This time we must get some interest for our dead relatives. Don't worry, they won't be able to return this time. Sima Yue said. Although the plan was a little rushed, it was absolutely perfect. Those who deserve to pay the price, she would make them stay here without leaving a single one behind. Zongjung Song Mao, Zongjung Hai and Zongjung Quan arrived at Huayang Palace. Seeing their huge campsite, they knew that Huayang Palace had sent many people over this time. The guard brought them to a luxurious tent and turned to leave. The guard at the door stared at them and said, Young Master Zongjung, young palace master is waiting for you inside. Waiting for you? It meant that the two elders weren't in the area. You guys wait for me here. Zongjung Song Mao said to the two elders. Then he opened the tent and went in. He saw Huayang Palace's palace master Chao Lu lying on the couch and bowed to him. Song Mao greets young palace master. There were two beauties beside Chao Lu. One was fanning him while the other was feeding him fruits. When he saw Zongjung Song Mao, he spat out the seed in his mouth into the beauty's hand and said with a sharp voice, Zongjung Song Mao, I haven't seen you for a few years. Your family's guts have grown. Young palace master, you're exaggerating. My Zongjung family is loyal to Huayang Palace. Zongjung Song Mao said respectfully. Is that so? Chao Lu waved his hand and indicated that the beauty beside him didn't need to feed him fruits anymore. He sat up from the couch and said, If you're loyal, why didn't you tell us about the appearance of the auspicious beast? We just got the news. Once we got the news, we sent someone to inform the palace. We didn't wait for the people in the palace because we wanted to take the initiative. But we didn't expect young palace master to come here first. Zongjung Song Mao said seriously. Is that so? Chao Lu stared straight at him. He didn't say whether he believed it or not. Absolutely true. Zongjung Song Mao's expression didn't change. He said it as if it was true. Chao Lu looked for a while and smiled. My Huayang Palace still believes in your Zongjung family. Zongjung Song Mao was relieved, but his expression didn't change. He said, Young palace master, don't worry. My Zongjung family will never be disloyal to Huayang Palace. Then I'll wait for you to catch the auspicious beast in front of me. Chao Lu said, Don't worry. If you catch the auspicious beast, the immortal land will definitely reward you. Song Mao will definitely catch the auspicious beast. Outside the tent, Zongjung Hai and Zongjung Quan heard the conversation inside clearly. After a while, they saw Zongjung Song Mao come out and greeted him. Young master, go back and bring the people from the family over. We'll camp together with Huayang Palace. Zongjung Song Mao ordered. Zongjung Hai and Zongjung Quan understood what this meant. If they lived together, Zongjung family would definitely do everything. Huayang Palace would only command from behind. But what could they do? Their strength wasn't as good as Huayang Palace. They still needed to rely on Huayang Palace to protect them. We'll go and call the people from the family over. Zongjung Hai said. Go. Zongjung Song Mao's voice was somewhat restrained. The people from Huayang Palace couldn't tell, but the two elders who were familiar with him knew. An hour later, Zongjung family's tent was set up beside Huayang Palace. Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu had been watching the situation over here. They weren't surprised by Huayang Palace's request at all. How did you leak the news to Huayang Palace without anyone knowing? Wu Lingyu hugged the person in his arms and asked. Sima Yue rubbed against his arms and said, Huayang Palace and Qin family aren't far from each other. They've been paying attention to Qin family's situation. I just made a little movement in Qin family, and they naturally knew. What about the other forces? Conveniently brought them along. Sima Yue said. If they're the only ones who came here, then this news seems too fake. It's also because they're eager to get it. Otherwise, with such news appearing at this time, they definitely wouldn't be fooled so easily. Wu Lingyu said. If it wasn't for this moment, I wouldn't have thought of such a method. Sima Yue laughed slyly. But is your friend reliable? Chapter 1051. Read 336. Of course. Wu Lingyu said. But we'll have to give him some compensation when the time comes. What compensation? Something you have. Naturally, I can only agree if you have me. Wu Lingyu said. Then what do you want? Golden snake fruit. Golden snake fruit? Sima Yue sat up from Wu Lingyu's embrace. We only want a little bit of its blood, and he wants a golden snake fruit from us? Wu Lingyu looked at Sima Yue's angry face and said with a smile. It's not one, it's two. Anyway, you have so many in your spirit pagoda, giving it two doesn't matter. Fluting a burning house. Sima Yue pouted. It's useful, Wu Lingyu said. Even if this incident didn't happen, I would still ask you to give it too. Are you close? Sima Yue asked. Otherwise, he wouldn't have asked her for the golden snake fruit. It's not bad, Wu Lingyu said, and it has a clansman that has just evolved, who has a bit of history with you. You're related to me? Who? Sima Yue asked curiously. You'll know when the time comes. Wu Lingyu smiled but didn't answer. Hee, jackals of the same tribe. Sima Yue glared at him. Huh? Wu Lingyu laughed out loud. She was quite cute like this. If you want two golden snake fruits, that's fine too. Sima Yue laid back in his embrace and played with his hair. As long as it handles this matter well for me, I will give it to him. But if it doesn't handle it well and messes things up for me, then there will be no golden snake fruit. This golden snake fruit is indeed useful to him. He wasn't trying to take advantage of you, so don't be so angry. Wu Lingyu gently kissed her head and said with a smile. That's my baby. Sima Yue snorted. To others, it's a treasure, but to you there's a whole pile, it's no longer a treasure. At most, I'll let him do something to the blood and let Yinyang Palace and Zhongzheng clan suffer a bit in the immortal land. Wu Lingyu saw through her thoughts. That's more like it. Sima Yue smiled with satisfaction. In the Shisha mountain range, an ape couldn't help but shiver. It felt like it was being targeted. The other ape saw it and said, Old ancestor, are you all right? It's fine. The old macaque shook its head. Both of you have to stay by my side for the next few days. Ancestor, are we really going to help them? The other yellow-haired ape was a little reluctant. It didn't have a good impression of humans. You two need the golden snake fruit to evolve. The old ape said, Moreover, I have a good relationship with him, so it's fine to help him. Does he really have the golden snake fruit? I still feel a bit uncertain. Little Ten, there will be several golden snake fruits every time. Why did you only get one? The yellow ape looked at Little Ten and asked. There were many humans fighting for it. Little Ten said. At that time my bloodline power was not activated. My strength was very low. I wasn't a match for so many people. Little Ten thought of the scene that year. He had a deep memory of the bright eyes hidden in the black cloak. Although she stole his golden snake fruit, she didn't kill them all. She gave him one so that he could successfully activate his bloodline and come to this continent to meet his own kind. If we can go to Yilin continent, we might be able to find that person and see if she has any remaining golden snake fruits. The yellow ape said. Little Ten shook his head and said, After my bloodline was activated, I tried to find that person. But I couldn't find her. I think she must have disguised herself. If I go back to find her now, I won't be able to find her. How do you know if you don't try? The yellow ape said. Little Huang, you don't have to worry. If Wu Lingyu really doesn't have any golden snake fruits, we can go to Yilin continent and try again. The old ape saw that the yellow ape was very anxious and comforted him. Old ancestor, I know that you also need the golden snake fruit. Little Huang said. You didn't say it because Wu Lingyu said that there were only 2 golden snake fruits, and you wanted to leave them to us. But what about you? So we still have to find a way to find that person in Yilin continent. Let's talk about this later. The old ape said. They are coming. The old ape looked at the mountaintop and saw Wu Lingyu and Sima Yue flying over. Wu Lingyu took Sima Yue to a towering tree and said, This is the old ape's temporary nest. Sima Yue looked at the big tree. The crown of the tree was almost half a kilometer wide. She didn't know how many years it would take to grow to this size. The enchantment surrounding the big tree dissipated and the two flew in. As soon as they entered, they saw 3 apes sitting on the branches. "It's you." Little Ten saw Sima Yue and called out excitedly. Sima Yue looked at Little Ten in confusion. It knew her? Why was it so excited? "You are the person who stole my golden snake fruit in Pu Luo mountain range." Little Ten looked at her and said with certainty. It couldn't be wrong about that pair of eyes. It was definitely her. The moment Sima Yue heard this, she immediately understood who this ape was. To be able to say the words Pu Luo mountain range and golden snake fruit, other than the ape that had snatched the golden snake fruit from her, there was no one else. No wonder Wu Lingyu said that they had some relationship. She didn't expect that they were actually old acquaintances. "Why do you look different from before?" Since the other party had already recognized her, there was no need to deny it. After all, she had already promised to give them the golden snake fruit. Little Ten was a little excited and said, "It's really you. It seems that I didn't recognize you wrongly." Sima Yue shrugged and said, "Why didn't you stay in the Yilin continent? Why did you come to the primordial lands?" And his strength had increased by quite a bit, entering the ranks of sacred beasts. "That year, the golden snake fruit that you gave me stimulated the blood in my body, allowing me to come to this continent, and even find my clansmen," Little Ten said. When the old ape and Little Huang saw this, they both understood. The person in front of them was the person they were just talking about. The person who had the golden snake fruit in the Yilin continent. They had been looking for the golden snake fruit in the continent for so long, but they had never seen it. How could there be news of the golden snake fruit suddenly? So it was the person that Little Ten had talked about. "Little Ten, is she really that person?" Little Huang was very disappointed. Little Ten nodded with certainty. "That means that there really isn't a third golden snake fruit in this world," Little Huang muttered. Little Ten also realized this problem. Since Sima Yue was here, where were they going to find the third golden snake fruit? "Royal Uncle, when the time comes, you and old ancestor can use those 2 golden snake fruits. I have already eaten one, so I don't need it anymore," Little Ten said. Sima Yue raised her eyebrows. The third golden snake fruit? This book came from the book and book #web. Chapter 1052. The old macaque sighed and said, "The 2 of you are the hope of the future. I'm already so old, so I don't need to waste that good thing." "Ancestor," Little Ten cried out anxiously. "Let's talk about this later. We still have guests now," the old ape said. When Little Ten saw him like this, he was so anxious that he was about to cry. "What happened to you guys?" Sima Yue asked. Little Ten looked at Sima Yue and said, "You took so many golden snake fruits at that time. Do you have any more?" "More? Yes." Little Ten looked at her expectantly. "Do you have 3 golden snake fruits?" "Our deal is 2 golden snake fruits," Sima Yue said. "I know, but we..." Little Ten couldn't finish his sentence because the old ape was staring at him. "All 3 of you need 3 golden snake fruits?" Sima Yue asked the old ape. "Yes." The old ape said somewhat helplessly. "The golden snake fruit is the key spirit medicine for our clan to activate our bloodline and evolve. If we have the golden snake fruit, we can evolve to a higher level. In the past, we didn't have much hope, but after meeting Little Ten, we knew that this world still has the golden snake fruit." "You guys seem to be in urgent need," Sima Yue said. "Old ancestor was injured in the past. If he doesn't evolve, I'm afraid he won't have much time left." Little Huang said, "But if we don't eat it, we won't be able to continue evolving, and the old ancestor wants us to eat it." "Why?" Sima Yue looked at the old ape and asked. "Even if I eat the golden snake fruit, I won't be able to increase my bloodline any further. Why waste such a precious spiritual medicine?" The old ape said, "Why don't we let them try? Perhaps they can reach a new height of our race." "But it will save your life," Sima Yue said. The old macaque shook its head. "Nothing is more important than the development of a race. Their future is more important than my broken body." "You are really..." Sima Yue admired the old ape. At this moment, she finally understood why Wu Lingyu had such a good relationship with him. What you want us to do won't be dangerous, right? Little Huang looked at Wu Lingyu. We've already seen the commotion outside. Many people have come. There are indeed quite a few, Wu Lingyu said. Old ancestor's body is not well. If the danger is too great, we will not agree to continue. Little Huang said. If that's the case, then you won't have the golden snake fruit. Sima Yue shrugged, as if she didn't care whether they would withdraw midway. Even if there is no golden snake fruit, Little Huang said firmly. Don't worry about me, I'm fine. The old ape said. Sima Yue stared at them for a long time and said, if you can help me with something else, I will give you 3 golden snake fruits. 3? You have another one? Little Ten looked at her excitedly. Sima Yue nodded her head. When she nodded her head, Little Huang and the old ape also became excited. The old ape even subconsciously looked at Wu Lingyu. Seeing that he didn't have any strange expression, it believed her words. What do you want us to do? Don't we need your blood in the end? Sima Yue charmed them. I want to add something in it. After more than an hour, Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu left, leaving behind the 3 apes in a daze. This person is too evil. Fortunately, we are not her enemy. Little Huang muttered. I'm very glad that we didn't fight her head-on. Little Ten also sighed. The old ape was the calmest. It scratched the fur on its body and said, you must remember not to fight her head-on in the future. Don't become her enemy. With your IQ, you can't beat her. Little Huang and Little Ten looked at the old ape. Old ancestor, do you have to be so direct? But although she is a little cruel to her enemies, she is still a good person. Little Ten was excited when he thought of the 3 golden snake fruits. She said that she would heal old ancestor's injuries first before eating the golden snake fruit. This way, old ancestor can continue to develop the power of blood. Little Huang said, but can she heal you? If the people of Divine Devil Valley can't heal me, then I can only use the golden snake fruit to keep my body hanging. The old ape said. Then we will wait for them to set up the mechanism. Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu walked a few rounds in the mountain range, and chose a suitable place. After setting up the mechanism, they contacted the old ape and the others and told them what to do next. The old ape and the others saw that the place Sima Yue chose was a canyon with dense forest. It was indeed a good place to set up an ambush. After they finished listening to Sima Yue's explanation, the 3 apes had the same thought again. They must not be enemies with this guy in the future. Outside the mountain range, all the forces were talking about the auspicious beast's aura that they felt just now. That aura was too exciting. If they could get it, then they could enter the immortal land. Qin Mo and Shimin Feng looked at those excited people, and felt that they were a little pitiful. How do you think they will feel if they find out that it was all premeditated? Qin Mo smiled faintly, not feeling guilty for what he did. They won't know, Shimin Feng said. This matter isn't fake. It's just that it was arranged by someone. That's true, Qin Mo said. After so many years, they finally have to pay a price. Shimin Feng pursed his lips and didn't reply. That's right. After so many years, they finally had to ask for some interest. Suddenly, there was a fluctuation in space. The 2 of them looked up and saw Kong Sengyi leading the people from Kong Valley out of the space tunnel. Why are you guys here? Seeing Kong Sengyi, Shimin Feng's face showed a trace of a smile. Kong Sengyi didn't expect to see Shimin Feng as soon as he arrived. He smiled and flew down. You told me those things. Aren't I here to make your plan look more realistic? You're not afraid of killing your people. No, you won't let them die. Kong Sengyi said affirmatively. You guys aren't the kind of people who will kill the innocent for revenge. You really know us. Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu came back, and just happened to hear Kong Sengyi's words. They smiled and replied. Of course. Kong Sengyi slightly raised his chin. Tell me, what's your plan? Is there anything you need our help with? You guys came at the right time. I have something that I need people to do. It's not convenient to call the Qin family. Since this girl would be her sister-in-law sooner or later, Sima Yue didn't hold back and ordered her around. After hearing Sima Yue's words, Kong Sengyi's eyes lit up. He slapped her shoulder and said, You're really a con man. Chapter 1053. After feeling the aura of the auspicious beast that day, everyone in the mountain range was excited. They all sent people to find the whereabouts of the auspicious beast. The people of the Inyang Palace were no exception. Please search product #book net to see the most complete update the fastest. Of course, with the Zongjing family there, most of the people from the Inyang Palace wouldn't go out. They just symbolically sent some people to follow the Zongjing family. However, it was unknown whether the Inyang Palace and the Zongjing clan were lucky or not. Others went to the mountain range to search but did not find the whereabouts of the auspicious beast. When they went out, they happened to encounter the old ape and a spirit beast fighting. The aftermath of the battle affected the entire team. Out of a team of 100 people, only a few survived. The rest were all dead. However, most of the people who died were from the Zongjing clan. Chao Le didn't feel any heartache at all. Instead, he was excited by the news that they brought back. You're saying that the old ape is injured? He pushed away the beauty beside him excitedly. Yes, young palace master, we saw it with our own eyes. The old ape was injured by his opponent and managed to escape in the end. That power was very strong. If we didn't run fast enough, we would have died like those people from the Zongjing clan. The Inyang Palace guard said. How's the situation with the old ape? Zongjing Songmao asked. Half of the people from the Zongjing clan went out, but only a few returned. It would be fine if they found the auspicious beast, but if they didn't catch it in the end, then the loss would be huge. Right. How is the old ape? Chao Le asked. Replying to young palace master, the old ape's condition is very bad. It can be said that his life is hanging by a thread. If it wasn't for a little ape that came out and saved him at the last moment, he would have died. The guard said. According to this subordinate's guess, his injury should be very serious. Even if the auspicious beast's self-healing ability is very strong, it is impossible to recover in a short time. If we can find him during this time, we have a good chance of catching him. How strong is the ape that suddenly appeared? Zongjing Songmao asked. It's just an ordinary sacred beast. All right. Chao Le got down from the couch and said, Bring everyone out. You must find them before the old ape recovers. Yes, young palace master. The guard also became excited. Remember, don't let the other forces know about this. Zongjing Songmao reminded. That's right. If other powers find out about this, it'll be troublesome to deal with them. Chao Le said. Then I'll bring people to track down the old ape's whereabouts. Go. Chao Le nodded and called out to him. Go and gather everyone. I'll personally lead them over. Young palace master, the mountain range is filled with danger. If we encounter anything, cut the crap. This is such a rare opportunity. If I miss it, how am I going to explain it to master? Chao Le said. Hurry up and gather people for me. Remember, don't make too much noise. Yes, young palace master. The people from the Zongjing clan and the Inyang Palace quickly gathered. These people added up to a few hundred people. The scale wasn't small. In order to hide from the public, they didn't keep the tents. They left a few people at the campsite to look after it. The rest followed Chao Le and Zongjing Songmao to the mountain range. Watching them enter the mountain, Sima Yue and Shimen Feng looked at each other. Inform Qin Mo and Xiang Yi that the people from the Inyang Palace and the Zongjing clan have entered. Let them follow the plan. Sima Yue said softly. Shimen Feng took out the Sun Mother Stone and contacted the two groups of people in the mountain. He told them about the commotion here. Let's go. We'll follow them to watch a good show. Sima Yue called out Thousand Resonance and fused into another person. Wu Lingyu twisted the illusion ring and turned into an inconspicuous man. Shimen Feng took out the human skin mask and put it on. The aura of the three people changed, and they turned into another three people. If they didn't see them disguising themselves, no one would be able to guess their identities. Qin Mo and Kong Xingyi brought their own teams to hide in the mountain. When they heard Shimen Feng's news, they were energized. Brothers, let's be alert. The people from the Zongjing clan are here. We have to act our part well. Don't let Yue and the others down. Do you understand? Kong Sengyi said to his group of people. Miss, don't worry. We will act like it's real. Someone patted his chest and promised. These people were not ordinary people from the Kong Valley. They were all her trusted subordinates who followed her around. Although they didn't know why she did this, they would do it well if she wanted them to do it. On the other side, Qin Mo kept the Sun Mother Stone and said to the people beside him, Did you hear that? Yes, Master. We will arrange it now. Muwen said. Master, don't worry. We will bring them to the arranged place. Qin Hong said. If they don't take the bait, it's not impossible to kill them on the spot. Qin Mo said. All right. With Master's words, we will know what to do. Qin Hong and Muwen looked at each other and went to arrange the following matters. Chao Lu and Zhongzheng Song Mao brought people to the place where the old ape and another spirit beast fought. Young Palace Master, this is the place where the old ape and the others fought. Yingyang Palace Guard pointed to a mountain peak and said, There is indeed the scent of the auspicious beast. Someone smelled the old ape scent and said excitedly, Which direction did the old ape escape to? Zhongzheng Quan looked at the destroyed mountain peak and frowned. He smelled it. East. Zhongzheng Song Mao looked to the east. The mountain range there was higher, the forest was denser, and the spirit beasts living there were more powerful. That should be the direction where the old ape lives. He said, There are many powerful spirit beasts inside. If we chase after them, I'm afraid it will be dangerous. We still have to chase after them. Chao Lu said, This time we have to catch the auspicious beast. Otherwise, we won't have a share in the immortal land. But young Palace Master. Zhongzheng Quan wanted to say that it was too dangerous to consider more, but he was interrupted before he finished. Why? Your Zhongzheng clan wants to back out? If you want to back out, don't blame me for reporting to Master. Chao Lu glanced at Zhongzheng Song Mao from the corner of his eyes. The threat was obvious. Zhongzheng Song Mao felt the killing intent from Chao Lu. He glared at Zhongzheng Quan and said to Chao Lu, No matter what young Palace Master wants to do, my Zhongzheng clan will definitely follow. Fifth Elder didn't mean to back out. He meant that it is too dangerous to chase to the east. We can't be sure that the auspicious beast is really there. If we don't catch the auspicious beast and lose our people inside, it's not worth it. Then what do you mean? Chao Lu squinted his eyes and stared at Zhongzheng Song Mao. His gaze was cold. Before Zhongzheng Song Mao could speak, someone shouted from behind. Someone is coming from there. It's Kong Valley's people. Chapter 1054. Kong Sengyi led the Kong Valley's people to escape in a panic, as if something was chasing after them. Seeing Chao Lu and the others, a group of people hurriedly flew over. Kong Sengyi? When did you get here? How did this happen? Chao Lu knew Kong Sengyi. He was surprised to see her come over with people. Before this, he didn't even know that the Kong Valley's people were here. Kong Sengyi was delighted to see Chao Lu. Chao Lu, why are you here? She flew over with her people. Her dress was tattered and dirty. What's wrong with you? Chao Lu rarely saw her like this and asked. Kong Sengyi hesitated for a moment, his expression flickering. We were attacked by spirit beasts over there. Attacked by spirit beasts? Zhongzheng Quan looked at her. You have the smell of an ape on you. You guys went to look for an ape just now, right? Kong Sengyi's expression was a little unnatural, as if she had been exposed. However, her expression made them even more certain that the spirit beast she was talking about was the ape. Isn't that ape injured? Why can't you beat it? Zhongzheng Quan asked. Kong Sengyi saw that they had indeed found out. He rolled his eyes and said, Well, although he's injured, he's still very strong. There are so many of us, yet we can't beat him. I don't think so. Zhongzheng Hai said. You have the smell of other spirit beasts on your body. The one chasing you isn't the old ape, but that spirit beast. This. You guessed wrong. Kong Sengyi denied. Impossible. Zhongzheng Quan didn't believe it. The aura on your bodies is the aura of the spiritual beast that fought with the old ape. A disciple of the Yin Yang Palace shouted. Are you sure? Yes, young palace master. This is definitely the scent of that spirit beast. That person said with certainty. We escaped from its aura, so we definitely won't be mistaken. Xiangyi, we can be considered old acquaintances. Is there a need for you to lie to me? Chaola said with a smile. It's not that I don't want to tell you, but the current situation. Kong Sengyi's bashful look made Chaolu even more certain of his thoughts. Xiangyi, did you get the blood of the auspicious beast? He walked over excitedly, wanting to grab Kong Sengyi's hand, but she dodged. Kong Sengyi looked at Chaolu cautiously and said, Chaolu, what are you trying to do? This auspicious beast's blood has already been poisoned by my Kong Valley. Even if you snatch it, you can't use it. The smile on Chaoli's face stiffened, and then returned to normal. He smiled and said, What kind of friendship do we have? If you really get the blood of the auspicious beast, we can't wait to be happy for you. How can we snatch it from you? Don't think that I don't know what you're thinking. Kong Sengyi looked at him. If he did anything wrong, she would immediately poison him. What thoughts can I have? You're thinking too much. Chaola said, But did you really get the auspicious beast's blood? Yes. Kong Sengyi absolutely had nothing to hide at this time. We found the auspicious beast. He was injured and wasn't our opponent. But if he fought with his life on the line, we wouldn't have any advantage. So we made an agreement with him. He gave us some blood, then we wouldn't fight with him. Then how did you get injured? Chaolu asked. We were tricked by that old ape. Kong Sengyi gritted her teeth and said, We thought that he really didn't want to fight with us, so he agreed to give us his blood. In the end, that guy didn't have good intentions. He gave us his blood to lead his enemy to us. So you were injured by the spirit beast that injured the ape? Zongjung Songmao said. Kong Sengyi nodded. That spirit beast's strength is very strong. Even if we have so many people, we're not its opponent. Why didn't you bring more people here? Like us, are you afraid of that spirit beast? Chaolu said proudly. Kong Sengyi looked at their people. Indeed, they had more people than them by half. But we already got what we wanted. We'll leave first. Kong Sengyi finished speaking and waved to Kong Valley's people. Those people followed her and left. Yinyang Palace and Zongjung Clan's people saw them leave and looked at Chaolu anxiously. If they directly snatched their auspicious beast's blood, then they wouldn't have to look for the ape. Compared to going into the mountain range, the risk of the Kong Valley's people was much lower. But Chaolu and Zongjung Songmao didn't say anything. They didn't dare to take any action. They could only watch the Kong Valley's people leave. Young Palace Master, why didn't we stop them? Seeing Kong Sengyi and them out of sight, he finally couldn't hold it in and asked. If the Kong Valley's people tampered with the blood, what can we do? Chaolu glared at that person. He still wanted to snatch Kong Sengyi's auspicious beast's blood. But would that be useful? The answer was no. And he would offend the Kong Valley's people for nothing. Kong Valley's poison isn't something we can solve. You should keep this idea. Zongjung Songmao said. Instead of thinking about that, why not think about how to catch that auspicious beast? Now there's one thing for sure. That ape situation isn't good. If we can find him, we have a high chance of catching him. Zongjung Hai said. That's right. Chaola said. So you guys have to be alert. Since you know where the auspicious beast is, don't back down. Yes. Everyone answered loudly. But we have to be careful. The deeper we go into the mountain range, the more dangerous it is. You can't act recklessly. Zongjung Songmao said. Also, the old ape's enemy is looking for him. We have to avoid that enemy. Young master, don't worry. We have already memorized that smell. If we encounter it, we should be able to avoid it. Zongjung Quan said. Since everyone understands, then let's prepare to go in. Chaola said. Wait a minute. Zongjung Songmao stopped them again. What's wrong with you again? Chaola looked at him unhappily. Someone is approaching. Zongjung Songmao looked at the direction they came from and said. Could it be that someone found out that the old ape is here? Everyone looked back. When they saw the people approaching, they became alert. Qin Mo and Qin Hong. Zongjung Quan said. Chin Mo is here too. Seeing Chin Mo, Chao gritted his teeth. He couldn't wait to tear him apart. It could be seen how bad the relationship between Qin family and Yinyang Palace was. Chin Mo brought people and flew over. When he saw Yinyang Palace's people, he stopped in midair. Both sides looked at each other. The atmosphere became tense instantly. It was as if they would fight at any time. Remember after reading, it's convenient for the next time. Chapter 1055. There was one more thing that Mou did not mention. It was not because he sensed the chaos that he felt her important role in the chaos, but because he came into contact with her. There were only two reasons for such a situation. Firstly, she played an important role in the chaos, and secondly, she was the cause of the chaos. After thinking about it, he felt that the possibility of the second reason was not high. How could the world of spirits and souls be in chaos because of one person? So he concluded that it was the first reason. But the one that he felt was impossible was the truth. There's still something that I don't understand. Sima Yue said. Say it. Even if I play a role in the chaos in the future, you're not that kind of person. Why are you teaching me? Sima Yue asked. Because I'm bored. Mou said. Although the world of spirits and souls is in chaos, to me, it's been peaceful for a long time. It's been a long time since I've seen a commotion. My mother's incident back then wasn't considered a commotion? I didn't participate in your mother's incident. How could it be considered a commotion? Mou said, and that incident wasn't considered a big deal, so it wasn't considered a commotion. Sima Yue was speechless. Deja said that incident back then was a hot topic in the world of spirits and souls, but in his eyes, it wasn't considered a commotion? All right, do you have any other questions? If not, can we start now? Mou asked. All right. Sima Yue kept the other questions in her heart. No matter what purpose he had in mind to teach her, she would learn it first. As for other things, she would just deal with it as it came. And that was something that would happen after she went to the world of spirits and souls. Perhaps Mou had never taught a disciple before, so the way he taught her the dark skills was very simple. He explained the method to her once, then covered it up. Then he let her practice according to the method just now, while he enjoyed the tea by the side. It was only because he met a talented person like Sima Yue that he was able to understand the essence of these underworld skills under such a free teaching method. Sima Yue might have inherited her mother's talent. She had a natural ability to comprehend underworld skills. No matter how difficult the underworld skill Mou taught her, she could comprehend it within a day. Although she did not practice it very well, it was just a matter of time. When Mou saw her learning speed, he was shocked. Based on her learning speed, wouldn't it take her a lot of time to learn all the underworld techniques and spirit techniques in the world? However, Sima Yue did not think so. Although she had inherited her mother's talent, other conditions were also indispensable. For example, the Tao that she had comprehended was the most powerful, most primitive, and closest to the heavenly Tao that had appeared so far. This was of great help to her in comprehending the essence of the netherworld. It could even be said that this was largely due to this. Another very important reason was Mou's teaching method. Although he only explained the method and demonstrated it once, he was still an almighty in the devil realm. His understanding of these underworld skills was not something that an ordinary person could compare with. Although what he taught was simple, it was the purest of them all. Furthermore, Sima Yue would receive the most accurate guidance every time she had a question. This helped Sima Yue to avoid many detours. After Mou saw her talent, she did not know what he was thinking. For the next month, he had been teaching her underworld skills. Furthermore, he taught her one type of underworld skill a day. It was as if he was teaching her. Furthermore, it was obvious that he had something on his mind these few days. He spent a lot of time in a daze while drinking tea. After another month, Sima Yue had been forced by Mou to learn many underworld skills. Furthermore, he would change to another underworld skill after mastering it. Sima Yue could not help but ask the question in her heart after she finished her practice. You taught me so many underworld skills. Aren't you afraid that I'll forget or mix them up? Mou only replied with 3 words. Do you know how to do it? She really did not know how to do it. Didn't you say that you were only going to teach me the grasping spirit technique? Why are you teaching me so many now? I'm not your disciple. Aren't you being taken advantage of? She took a sip of the tea that he passed to her. When she was more tired, she would drink tea like a cow. What a waste. Mou said. If you think that I'm being taken advantage of, then give me more tea leaves. After I go back this time, I won't be coming back to the human realm for a while. Sima Yue was stunned. You're leaving? I can still drag it on for a while. Mou said. That meant that after a while, he would be leaving. Perhaps it was because they often drank tea together and developed feelings for each other. Perhaps it was because he taught her everything he knew. Or perhaps it was because of the 2 months that they spent together. Hearing that he was leaving, she felt a little reluctant. Reluctant to leave me? Mou's eyes flashed with a smile. This was different from the faint smile on his face when they first met. If you can't bear to leave me, then go to the ghost realm with me. How about it? Sima Yue rolled her eyes at him. You wish. Unfortunately, it's not realistic. However, when I go to the ghost realm, I can look for you to catch up. Hee, then I'll be waiting. Mou said as he tapped on her forehead. She immediately felt a cool feeling enter her brain. Although Sima Yue was shocked, she did not panic. She looked at him and said, What did you do to me? Actually, it's nothing much. I just left a strand of divine sense on your body as a mark. When you go to the ghost realm, I'll be able to sense it. Mou said. Sima Yue sensed for a moment. There was indeed a faint shadow in her brain. But this shadow was different from Feng Ruyan and the others. The color was lighter. Perhaps it was because this was not a soul imprint, but a divine sense imprint. I wonder if this thing will run out when it's in danger? Sima Yue muttered. It won't run out, but it will release my aura. Ghost clansmen are especially sensitive to aura. If it can sense my aura, it will naturally not do anything to you. Mou said. So you're saying that before I go, I already have a protective umbrella? Sima Yue smiled. It was so cool to be under a big tree. Sima Yue learned from Mou for 2 months. After she finished learning today, Mou suddenly said that he was leaving. Sima Yue already knew about it, so she was not surprised. But she was still a little reluctant. These books are about the ghost realm. I won't give you the books about dark techniques. If you learn what I taught you, it will be enough for you to sweep through the ghost realm. But you can read more of these books. They will be useful when you go to the ghost realm. Mou said. Sima Yue kept the books and took out a spatial ring. She passed it to him and said, This is the tea I prepared for you. Mou took it and used his divine sense to scan it. The usually calm him was a little dazed. Chapter 1056. Crazy Wife. 5th Miss of the Divine Doctor. Chapter 1056. Scamming you so much for. The people from the Yinyang Palace and Zhongzheng clan felt their bodies tremble. Then, the old ape that had been running away finally stopped. Please search product #book web to see the most complete. Update the fastest. You despicable humans. Why did you keep chasing me? Why did you go to the bottom? The old ape roared. Don't you know what we want? Chao Lu and the others also stopped and surrounded the old ape. I've already given you human blood. You can ask those people for it. Why are you holding on to me? The old ape said angrily. It condensed spiritual power and shouted at those people. The aura around him became chaotic, and a hurricane surrounded the entire valley. Old ape, you still want to fight us in your current state? Zhongzheng Quan approached the old ape and said, Come with us today. Even if you don't want to, you have to leave. You puny humans want to fight with me. Even if I'm injured, you're still no match for me. The old ape shouted. Without saying anything else, he directly attacked those people. The people from the Zhongzheng clan and the Yinyang Palace were not to be trifled with either. Each of them retaliated, and the valley was lit up by the radiance of various spiritual techniques. Outside the valley, the old macaque and Chini stood together. Listening to the sounds of fighting and screams coming from the valley, one could imagine what it was like inside the thick fog. This illusory formation is too powerful. Although the old ape knew how powerful the human's formation was, it was still shocked to see it with its own eyes. Ever since Sima Yue knew that he was injured, she changed her plan of asking him to kill the people from the Yin Yang Palace. Instead, she asked him to lure them into the formation and activate the illusion formation so that they could kill each other in the formation. It's indeed shocking, Qin Ran murmured. I didn't expect her array formation to be so powerful. Even if it was an illusion array, it would have different effects. To be able to cause so many people to have the same illusion, this was not something an ordinary array master could do. As far as they knew, Sima Yue did not know how to use arrays in her previous life. Hence, she only knew about arrays in this life. This talent really made them feel ashamed of their inferiority. After a while, Sima Yue, Wu Lingyu, Qin Mo, and Kong Sengyi arrived. Is everyone inside? Sima Yue asked. Yes, they're all inside. Qin Ran nodded. Sima Yue looked at the dense fog, and hearing the blood-curdling screams coming from inside, the scene of extermination of Shiman clan appeared before her eyes. Wu Lingyu could feel the cold air emanating from her body, and reached out to hold her shoulders. After a while, the voices inside became softer and softer. Many people had been killed, and only a few people were still putting up a desperate struggle. Young master, we're almost out of men. One of Zhong Zhengquan's arms was broken, and the other hand was covering the wound. The other wounds were also bleeding. Why do I feel that our fighting power has decreased by quite a bit? Zhong Zhengsongmao looked at the few people left and frowned. Young master, we don't have the energy to care if our fighting power has decreased. He's attacking again. Ah! A ray of silver light flew towards him. He just waved his hand and prepared to attack, but the light seemed to have turned a corner and directly cut off his hand. Then, a ball of flame appeared out of nowhere and wrapped him in it. Very quickly, he became a pile of ashes. What's going on? Why do I feel that it's not just old ape attacking? Zhong Zhenghai came to Zhong Zhengsongmao's side and asked. Indeed. Zhong Zhengsongmao said. Do you feel that something is strange? Seems like it, but I can't put my finger on it. Zhong Zhenghai said. Zhong Zhengsongmao looked at the decreasing number of people, and his brows furrowed. He also felt that something was wrong, but he couldn't tell what was wrong. Zhong Zhengsongmao, why are you still standing there? Chao Le couldn't withstand the attacks, and seeing Zhong Zhengsongmao in a daze, he roared at him. Zhong Zhengsongmao raised his head and saw that he couldn't withstand it. His eyes flashed, and he stood there without moving. Zhong Zhengsongmao, what do you mean? Yin Yang Palace's people saw that he didn't move and said coldly. Your young palace master. Aren't you going to save him? Zhong Zhengsongmao said coldly. What do you mean by our young palace master? Zhong Zhengsongmao. Do you want to betray us? Zhong Zhengsongmao glanced at him faintly and said. Yes, so what? You've got guts. Your Zhongzheng clan really has bad intentions. Young palace master shouldn't have trusted you. Young master Zhongzheng, let's not talk about other things. Quickly save young palace master. We are as close as a family. As close as a family? Zhong Zhengsongmao said. You let my Zhongzheng clan rush to the front and make us the scapegoat. Why didn't you say that we are as close as a family? When did you treat us as a family? Zhong Zhengsongmao, your Zhongzheng clan better not dig your own grave. Really? Zhong Zhengsongmao didn't move, and even his clan members didn't move. You dare to do this? Wait until we go back. We must report this matter to the palace master. Let's see how your Zhongzheng clan can escape by then. Do you think you still have the chance to go back and report? Zhong Zhengsongmao sneered. Those people felt the danger. They took a step back and said, What do you want to do? What do we want to do? Do you still need to say it? Zhong Zhengsongmao's smile made people's hair stand. In this situation you can't escape. Why don't you join us to deal with old ape first? Someone was clearer about the situation. Zhong Zhengsongmao didn't speak, but he didn't do anything to Yin Yang Palace's people either. Ah! Chao Lu was sent flying by old ape's palm. He landed heavily on the ground. Young palace master. Yinyang Palace's people all flew over. A portion of them went to support Chao Le, some went to block Old Ape's attack. Ah! A burst of power burst out, blowing those people into pieces. No, this power doesn't belong to Old Ape. The one who attacked us isn't Old Ape. Zhongzheng Song Mao shouted. Not Old Ape. Everyone looked at Old Ape. He was the one who launched the attack. How could he say it wasn't Old Ape? Those attacks are your own. Everyone don't move. Those attacks will naturally disappear. Zhongzheng Song Mao shouted. Yinyang Palace's people were blown up by the power explosion. If not, they were seriously injured on the ground. Only Zhongzheng clan's people were left standing. Once Zhongzheng Song Mao spoke, they all stopped moving. Although Old Ape was still there, it didn't move anymore. It really stopped. That Old Ape is fake. What's going on? Everyone was stunned. Zhongzheng Song Mao was the first to react. We entered the array. If I didn't guess wrongly, this is an illusion array. Ha ha ha. Young Master Zhongzheng is indeed smart. Following a laugh, the fog that shrouded the valley gradually dissipated. This book came from // chapter 1056. Scam you don't want it for. Chapter 1057. As the thick fog dispersed, the effect of the illusion array disappeared. The scenery in front of everyone's eyes didn't change, but the Old Ape was gone. Zhongzheng Qing Mao looked up and saw a group of people standing on the mountain, and the Old Ape in the middle. However, this Old Ape was different from the one he had seen before. Although it still looked the same, its body was no longer weak from its injuries. That wasn't you just now. Zhongzheng Song Mao said coldly. Who are you? Shimin Feng took off the mask on his face, looked at Zhongzheng Song Mao and said, We haven't seen each other for 20 years and you don't recognize me? Zhongzheng Song Mao saw Shimin Feng, his body shook and said, Shimin Feng? How could it be you? How could you? How could he still be alive? Shimin Feng said, You look really surprised, hee. Aren't the people of Shimin clan already dead? The shock on Zhongzheng Hai's face wasn't any less than Zhongzheng Song Mao's. They were personally involved in the incident at that time. They were the ones who killed those people. Even the people who chased after Shimin Yue and Shimin Feng were led by him. He saw him being killed with his own eyes and falling into Heartbreak Valley. How could he not die? Zhongzheng Hai, seeing the expression on your face really makes me happy. Shimin Feng said. Shimin Feng. Your Shimin family has already been exterminated. I didn't expect you to still be alive. Zhongzheng Hai shouted. Of course I have to live. Otherwise, how can I take revenge on you? Shimin Feng looked at them hatefully. The grudge from back then. We will settle it with you bit by bit. A brat like you? You're indulging in fantasy. Zhongzheng Hai said disdainfully. Is it really whimsical? Shimin Feng sneered. How do you feel now? How does it feel to kill each other? So it was you guys. Chao Le stood up with the help of the Yinyang Palace disciples and said, What did you guys do to us? Actually, it's nothing much. It's just to let you experience it for a bit inside the illusion array. Shimin Feng said. Illusion array? How can you set up such a powerful array? Zhongzheng Hai exclaimed in surprise. You don't have to worry about that, Kong Sengyi said. Zhongzheng Song Mao and the rest shifted their attention to Kong Sengyi and Qinemo. Kong Sengyi. Qinemo. This is what you have planned from the start. You're taking revenge for the Shimin clan. Chao Le said. Are you trying to cause a conflict between the Yinyang Palace and the Qin clan's Kong Valley? In your words, as long as you all stay here, who would know who did this? Kong Sengyi said. Don't worry, we will send the auspicious beast blood back to you. Zhongzheng Song Mao sensed that something was wrong. What do you mean by this? Yes. Kong Sengyi looked at them with a smile. Zhongzheng Song Mao stared at her for a while and said, You guys have to send the tampered auspicious beast's blood to our clan, so that they can't enter the immortal land and be happy for nothing. Good guess. No wonder you're the genius young master of the Zhongzheng clan. Kong Sengyi said. But you didn't guess it completely, you didn't guess the ending right. Zhongzheng Song Mao squinted his eyes. His eyes emitted a viper-like gaze. What do you guys want to do? Chao Lu asked. You'll know when the time comes. Shimin Feng said. Although others say that one should die in peace, I like to see you guys die with grievances. PFFF. Sima Yue laughed. Feng Er's words were exactly what she wanted. She also liked to see them die with grievances. Humph, with just you guys you want to keep us here, it's simply a fool's dream. Zhong Zhenghai snorted. Although they were seriously injured, if they wanted to escape, as long as they fought with their lives, it wasn't hopeless. You guys think that if you fight with your lives, you can definitely escape, right? Shimin Feng spoke out Zhong Zhenghai's thoughts. You think that you can go out after entering this valley? If we didn't have absolute confidence, would we let you know who we are? What did you guys do? Zhong Zhengsong Mao asked. There's an array master here. We don't even need to do anything to deal with you guys. Kong Sengyi worshipped Sima Yue. As long as there was enough time, it was a piece of cake for an array master to kill people invisibly. Someone understood what he meant and flew out of the valley, but he was blocked by an invisible wall in midair. Spirit barrier array. Chao Lu shouted. You're that person from Dark Forest. You're Sima Yue. Zhong Zhengsong Mao looked at Sima Yue and said. Sima Yue smiled. You're so smart. If it wasn't because of the blood feud between us, I would want to be friends with you. It's really you. You're actually with Shimin Feng. Zhong Zhengsong Mao was surprised. He didn't expect her to be with Shimin Feng. Of course we're together. He's my younger brother. Sima Yue said. We'll kill you guys together today and take revenge for Shimin family. You're also from Shimin family? That's right. Sima Yue said. We used to be familiar with each other. We even had a meal together, but I don't think you want to know who I am. Had a meal together? Yeah. Before Zhong Zhengsong Mao could finish his sentence, Sima Yue injected spiritual power into the array. The entire space started to shake, blocking his words. Sima Yue knew that he had guessed her identity, seeing the shock on his face. She kept a smile on her face. The killing intent in her eyes grew thicker. I've changed this array. The dragon trapping array has become a dragon killing array. Today I'll let you guys test the effects of my changes. Following the activation of the killing array, many white rays attacked from all directions. Those who were weaker were split into half by the white rays. Those who were stronger like Zhong Zhengsong Mao and Zhong Zhenghai tried their best to resist for a while. However, the power of the killing array was far more powerful than they imagined. Very quickly, there was no one left standing in the valley. Sima Yue released the array. Everyone flew down and found two people who were still breathing. Zhongzheng family and Yinyang Palace, one on each side. Kong Sengyi and Shimin Feng grabbed one person each and said. Sima Yue took out 2 bottles of prepared blood and handed it to them. Thank you for your hard work. Don't worry, we'll definitely send them to their doorstep. Kong Sengyi said and grabbed the 2 people with Shimin Feng, opened the space tunnel and left. So, what do we do next? Old Ape asked. Chapter 1058. Sima Yue looked outside the mountain range. With a thought, 3 golden snake fruits appeared in front of everyone. This is... The old ape looked at the golden snake fruit, and was so excited that he couldn't speak. Sima Yue smiled at him and said, This is the golden snake fruit. Now, I'll fulfill my promise and give it to you. The old ape took the golden snake fruit, his hands trembling. He had chased after the golden snake fruit for his entire life, and now his wish had finally been fulfilled. I only did so little. He couldn't believe it. He originally thought that he would have to do a lot of things before she would give this to him. He didn't expect that she would only let him do so little. Sima Yue rolled her eyes and said, Keep this first. I'll treat you when we get back. All right. Old Gibbon suppressed the happiness in his heart and put away the golden snake fruit. He went to pick up Little Ten and the others with Sima Yue. The old ape and Little Huang could transform into human form, but Little Ten could not. If he appeared in the city like this, he would definitely be recognized at a glance. Perhaps there would be hundreds of forces that would immediately capture him. How about I also transform into a human form? Little Ten said. As long as I pass through the lightning tribulation, it'll be fine. Don't. Little Huang suddenly said. He looked at little Ten nervously. You're fine like this. What's wrong? Sima Yue was confused. Why did little Huang have such a big reaction? Our lineage originally had very few people. In the past, there were also 3 of us. Later on, one of us didn't make it through the transformation lightning tribulation. The old ape said, if I can transform into a human, it will save us a lot of trouble in the future. Isn't it just the lightning tribulation? Little imperial uncle, you don't have to worry. Little Ten said with a smile. That won't do either. Little Huang firmly objected. Little Ten turned its pleading gaze to the old macaque. The old macaque shook its head, disapproving of its transformation. Our bloodline is really too small. If something bad happens, old ancestor, you have to believe me. Little Ten said, I don't want to become a burden to you. Little Ten, ahem, well, since we came from the same continent, I can help you pass through the heavenly tribulation. Sima Yue said. Help me transcend the tribulation? How could he help? I won't be your contract beast. Little Ten expressed his position first. Sima Yue was speechless. Even if it wanted to follow her, she would not accept it. What method do you have to help him overcome the tribulation? The old ape asked. You'll know when the time comes. One day later, in the depths of the Shisha mountain range, in the sparrowhawk's habitat, the clear sky was suddenly covered with dark clouds. Then, all the sparrowhawks flew to the periphery of their territory, away from the range of the heavenly tribulation. In the valley below the tribulation clouds, Little Ten stood alone in the middle of the valley. He looked up at the tribulation clouds in the sky, and recalled what Sima Yue had just said. The formation I set up for you can block a portion of the lightning tribulation's power. Although it's not much, it can offset a portion of it every time. Then this is a pill that I refined to quickly recover spiritual energy. It's specially prepared for my spirit beast's tribulation. I'll give it to you today. Then these things are placed here. They are some spirit weapons that my friend refined to resist the lightning tribulation. Use them as you see fit. He held the pill in his hand tightly and his heart was in a mess. He was worried that she would take advantage of the situation and make him sign a contract with her. Now that he thought about it, his thoughts were really laughable. She had so many good things. Why would she take a fancy to him? However, now that he had so many things from her, there would be no problem for him to pass through the tribulation. The cloud spirit sensed that a spirit beast was about to pass through the tribulation, and came over to take a look. The first thing it saw was Sima Yue smiling brightly in the distance. Hey little fellow, this is my friend. You have to take it easy later. The cloud spirit was on the tribulation clouds, and almost rolled off the clouds. This fellow, why did she always give it problems? Just as it was about to ignore her, she immediately lured it with good wine. I have a lot of fruit wine here, and it's freshly brewed. It's not bad. Come and get it when you're done. The cloud spirit swallowed hard, and put its 2 little feet together. It kept muttering, annoying, annoying. You're tempting me again. I have to resist the temptation. But, I really want to drink it. The old ape and little Huang saw Sima Yue talking to the tribulation clouds, and both muttered in their hearts. Would this work? In their hearts, the answer was naturally no. So when they saw the power of the tribulation clouds behind them, they were stunned. Is this really the transformation lightning tribulation? Little Huang muttered. This should be. The old ape wasn't sure, but those lightning bolts were indeed striking little Ten. If it wasn't the transformation lightning tribulation, then what was it? But this power, they really couldn't associate it with the transformation lightning tribulation. If the transformation lightning tribulation was this powerful, that tribesman wouldn't have died. After going through such a powerful lightning tribulation, the transformation lightning tribulation was nothing in Sima Yue's eyes. More accurately, it was nothing in the eyes of the top-grade purple lightning tribulation. But that fellow was very excited when it saw the cloud spirit. It kept tossing and turning in the lightning pool. Sima Yue felt its thoughts and was speechless. She directly rejected it. But she couldn't stand that fellow making a ruckus in the lightning pool. so she could only agree to get some snacks for it. I want to go up and take a look, Sima Yue said. Where to? Wu Lingyu asked. Sima Yue looked at the tribulation clouds. Everyone understood what she meant. Above the tribulation clouds? The old ape and little Huang looked at her in shock. Yes, that fellow in the lightning pool is making a ruckus, Sima Yue said. Go, Wu Lingyu said. He could participate in her matters, but this was the only thing he didn't dare to touch. Sima Yue flew up the tribulation clouds and sat down beside the cloud spirit. Because it wasn't within the range of the lightning tribulation, Little Ten's lightning tribulation wasn't aggravated. The old ape and little Huang looked at her calmness in shock. Their jaws almost fell to the ground. I'm here to give you something. Sima Yue took out a lot of spirit wine and put it on the tribulation clouds. The cloud spirit saw the wine and happily pounced on it. Its two eyes shone brightly. It looked like a cat that had stolen a fish. Sima Yue took out some pills to sober up. Then she let the lightning enter her body as food for the top-grade purple lightning. The cloud spirit ate a pill. Then, it took out a jar of wine that it hadn't drunk before. It gulped down half of the jar. How is it? The taste isn't bad, right? Sima Yue asked with a smile. The cloud spirit nodded fiercely. It was delicious. Then, are you going to give me a present? Sima Yue asked. The cloud spirit rolled its eyes. It turned and ran towards the depths of the clouds. Seeing that Sima Yue didn't follow, it turned and waved its little paw at her. Chapter 1059. Sima Yue looked at Cloud Spirit and knew it was asking her to follow it. She frowned when she saw the lightning sparks in the clouds getting stronger. Would she be electrocuted to death if she followed it? Come on. You won't get a gift if you don't come. Cloud Spirit urged when it saw Sima Yue did not move. Are you scared? Sima Yue raised her chin. Look at the electric current. If I touch it, I'm afraid I'll be burnt to a crisp. TSK, that's for ordinary people. Don't worry, the guy in your body can't electrocute you to death even if it goes into the heart of the clouds. Cloud Spirit turned around and continued to walk forward. The guy in the thunder pool saw the sizzling electric current in the depths of the clouds and was so excited that it kept flipping. Sima Yue saw that the thunder pool was getting bigger and bigger and had to satisfy the top-grade purple thunder's needs. She said, okay, let's go. As soon as she said that, the top-grade purple thunder immediately quieted down. What an annoying guy. If I'm electrocuted to death, your host will be gone. She muttered and followed Cloud Spirit into the depths of the clouds. Sima Yue always thought that the depths of the clouds should get darker and darker, but in fact the closer she got to the center, the lighter the clouds became and gradually turned white. The Cloud Spirit hopped onto a cloud and turned back to look at her. Sima Yue followed it to the cloud and found that this cloud was much denser than the others. There was a special feeling when she stepped on it. Here, you can take a bottle of this. Cloud Spirit came to a small pool. Sima Yue went over and saw a basin-sized hole in the clouds. There were some transparent white bodies in the hole. How could there be white bodies in this place? What's this? Sima Yue asked. This is Thunder Spirit Y, Cloud Spirit said. You're giving this to me? What's the use of this thing? Sima Yue looked down at Cloud Spirit. Nothing. Cloud Spirit looked at Thunder Spirit Y as if it was looking at a cup of water. Sima Yue rolled her eyes at it. Why are you giving me such a useless gift? It's useless to me, but to you humans, it's a heavenly treasure. The Cloud Spirit rolled its eyes at him and said, if you eat one drop, it'll be equivalent to 10 years of absorbing the lightning attribute. So powerful. Sima Yue was astonished. She stared at Cloud Spirit with her mouth wide open. Of course, the Cloud Spirit said proudly. This is the essence left behind after each lightning tribulation. Moreover, it has other uses. For example, although this is Thunder Spirit Y, it doesn't have the offensive power of Thunder attribute spiritual energy. So even if an ordinary person takes it, there won't be any problems. It can even transform their body. Cloud Spirit said. So it's useless to me. Sima Yue shrugged. Cloud Spirit rolled its eyes at her narcissistically and continued. Although this has no effect on you, you can still increase your spiritual power after eating it. If you don't like it, I won't give it to you. Don't. Sima Yue grabbed Cloud Spirit. This thing is useless to me, but it'll definitely be useful to the people around me. I have to keep such a good thing. Other than what I just said, there are other uses. Cloud Spirit kicked its 4 short legs. Its cute appearance was comparable to Little Roar's. What other uses? Sima Yue asked. Cloud Spirit broke free from her hand. How would I know? I don't care about you humans. If you want to know, you can find out for yourself. I can't waste such a precious thing on experiments. Sima Yue took out a bottle and collected the Thunder Spirit Y. This thing has been around since ancient times. I'll check the ancient books later. There might be some mention of it. Even if there isn't, it'll be good to transform their bodies. Her body had been transformed by lightning. She knew what it was like after being transformed by lightning, so she wanted to transform the people around her too. In the past, she was afraid that they would be damaged by lightning. Now that she had Thunder Spirit Y, she was naturally not afraid. Cloud Spirit looked at her strangely and asked, "Aren't you going to keep it for yourself? This is a rare good thing. People can develop on their own when they're alive, but I think it's better to have the company of family. So these good things should be shared with family," Sima Yue said. "Your way of thinking is a little different from others." Cloud Spirit could not understand her. Those that I saw kept the good things for themselves and didn't think of others. That's why we have different ways of thinking. She put Thunder Spirit Y into a bottle. There were more than a dozen jade bottles that were the size of a finger. In the future, each bottle would be worth a lot of money. After she finished, she looked at Cloud Spirit and asked, "Is there any more?" "There's no more here. There are other clones," Cloud Spirit said. "Other clones? Then the next time you see me, send another one." Sima Yue put away Thunder Spirit Y and pinched its ear. Cloud Spirit dodged her hand and said, "You already have so much. What's the use of other things? You can never have too many good things." Sima Yue took out a jar of wine, unsealed it, and took a sip. Then, she handed it to Cloud Spirit. "Would you think it's too little?" Cloud Spirit fell into the wine jar without any hesitation and gulped it down. Sima Yue sat down on the cloud and continued, "Besides, this thing is useless to you. Why don't you give it to me? It can be put to good use. At most, I'll get you more fruit wine in the future." "You said it." Cloud Spirit stuck its small head out of the wine jar and stared at Sima Yue. "Of course I said it." Sima Yue approached it with a smile. "Other than this, do you have any other good things?" "Yes, but you can't get it," Cloud Spirit said. "What else?" "A higher level Thunder Spirit Y. It's further inside. You can't go in yet." Cloud Spirit pointed to the depths of the Calamity Cloud. "Didn't you say that the heart of the cloud would be fine?" Sima Yue asked. "I was exaggerating. You won't be afraid when the thing in your body grows up," Cloud Spirit explained. Sima Yue looked at the depths of the clouds reluctantly. "Can't you take it out for me?" "Take it yourself if you want. I won't take it for you." Cloud Spirit climbed out of the wine jar and said, "Okay, I'm done. I'm going back. Get down quickly." "Okay. I can't get it now, but you have to keep it for me," Sima Yue said. "Other than you, no one is so thick-skinned," Cloud Spirit said, then bounced up and knocked Sima Yue out. Then it left on its own Calamity Cloud. Sima Yue steadied herself in the air. She touched her butt and smiled. That meant that this guy would keep it for her. Chapter 1060. In fact, the Cloud Spirit had finished striking long ago, but it was talking to Sima Yue, so it left late. Old Ape and Little Huang looked at the tribulation cloud that had not left, and they were worried. Was it finished or not? Little Ten counted the lightning that he had suffered. It should be over, but why was the tribulation cloud still here? Was there a more powerful tribulation that it did not know about? In everyone's worry, they finally saw Sima Yue come out of the tribulation cloud. and then the tribulation cloud patted its butt and left. As soon as the tribulation cloud left, the light of transformation immediately surrounded Little Ten, and Old Ape and the others were relieved. Sima Yue flew back, and Old Ape and the others looked at her, as if they were looking at a monster. "Are you okay?" Wu Lingyu caught her and asked. She had stayed in the tribulation cloud for a long time, and it was different from before. "I'm fine." Sima Yue smiled, turned to look at Little Ten in the valley, and said, "I don't know what he will look like after he transforms." Old Ape came over and bowed to her. Sima Yue quickly held him and said, "Old Ape, what are you doing?" "Thank you. If it weren't for you, Little Ten wouldn't have been so successful." Old Ape thanked her sincerely. "If you want to thank me, wait until I heal your body," Sima Yue said with a smile. "Young master, you've really opened our eyes. We have never seen such a transformation tribulation." A man with a hooked nose came over and looked at Sima Yue in disbelief. If their clansmen could transform under such circumstances, what was there to worry about? Sparrowhawk King. Sima Yue nodded to the Sparrowhawk King. "Young master, The Sparrowhawk King looked at Sima Yue and wanted to say something, but he was embarrassed. "You want me to help our clansmen transform too, right?" Sima Yue asked. "Yes." The Sparrowhawk King said. "Several of our clansmen are also preparing to transform, including my daughter. But our success rate wasn't high in the past. Many of our clansmen were transforming." "That's easy," Sima Yue said. "But let me settle this first." Good. The Sparrowhawk King kept nodding, looking very excited. The light that enveloped Little Ten slowly faded, and a neat and tidy young man appeared in front of everyone. Little Ten looked at his hands excitedly, tugged at his clothes, and then flew over to them. "Ancestor." Little Ten looked at the Old Ape like a child waiting for praise. Not bad. The Old Ape nodded with a smile. "Since you've successfully transformed, let's prepare to treat Old Ape's injuries." Sima Yue said. "Your injuries can't be delayed, it's better to treat them as soon as possible." "Yes. Sparrowhawk King, please arrange a quiet place for us," Sima Yue said. "In my clan's territory, other spirit beasts won't dare to make trouble," the Sparrowhawk King said. "I want absolute silence, no one can disturb me," Sima Yue said. "Not even your clansmen." "Then let's go to my nest X," the Sparrowhawk King said. "Without my order, my clansmen won't dare to go there at will." "Okay," Sima Yue nodded. "Old Ape will go with me, you guys wait here." "Yes. Don't we need to take care of that matter?" Little Huang asked. "No need. Those people will naturally leave if they can't find you. As for Yinyang Palace and Zhongzheng Clan, Feng, and Xiang, you will deal with them." After that, she and the Old Ape followed the Sparrowhawk King to his nest X. Because the Sparrowhawk King was relatively large, his nest X was also very large and semi-enclosed. Sima Yue saw the magnificent appearance, and was a little surprised. "Young master, this is my nest X. You guys stay here, I'll guard outside," the Sparrowhawk King said. "Then I'll have to trouble you." Sima Yue nodded to him. "Old Ape, let's go in." "Please." The Sparrowhawk King watched them go in and sighed in his heart that this master had a promising future. Then he meditated under the tree and waited for them to come out. Wu Lingyu also came over. The Sparrowhawk King saw him and didn't get up to stop him. Wu Lingyu stood under the tree and stopped a dozen meters away from the Sparrowhawk King. He looked up at the Sparrowhawk King's nest X. In order to ensure that no one would disturb them, Sima Yue set up a barrier around the nest X. Here he could faintly see Sima Yue's hand and the Old Ape's upper body. The others also followed, but they didn't dare to get close and could only wait outside the big tree. Wu Lingyu and Qin Mo didn't care, but the waiting days were extremely long for Little Ten and Little Huang. 3 days later, the barrier covering the nest X was opened. Everyone waiting below looked up. The first thing they saw was Sima Yue, who looked a little tired, and then the Old Ape with a radiant face. "Yue." Wu Lingyu flew up and came to Sima Yue. "How are you?" "Nothing, I'm just a little tired. I'll be fine after some rest." Sima Yue's pale face showed a faint smile. I'll take you to rest, Wu Lingyu said. Okay, Sima Yue responded. Old ape, you can think about what I said to you before. If you don't want to, then take them away from the Shisha mountain range as soon as possible. After all, there are so many people outside, it's still very dangerous. I'll think about it, the old ape said. I hope I can see you again when I'm done resting. Senior, let's go, Sima Yue said. Wu Lingyu left with Sima Yue. Only then did Little Ten and Little Huang dare to come up. Just when they saw Sima Yue's pale face, the pressure on her body made them not dare to breathe. Old ancestor, how are you? Little Huang asked. I'm completely healed, the old ape said excitedly. Really? Little Huang grabbed his hand excitedly. This injury had been plaguing him for many years. He had also looked for some alchemists, but there were no results. He didn't expect Sima Yue to really heal him. Old ancestor, what was that thing she said? Little Ten asked. The old ape's gaze darkened. He remembered what Sima Yue said to him before. That was what she said to him after the treatment. She said, the golden snake fruit is the key to your race's evolution. If you follow me, I can provide you with more golden snake fruits. You want me to join your force? He asked. Sima Yue smiled and said, I believe you will make the right choice. After she finished speaking, she left, leaving him with a cool back view. You're tuning in to the Echoes of the Heart YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.